Hi everybody, welcome to ZealZaddy. This is Mysts of Elixia, which is our D&D 5e campaign we run every Saturday night. This is episode 24 of the first season. It is titled One Spark to Ignition, which probably means nothing, you know.
Nah.
They usually don't mean anything.
Nothing means anything in this.
It could be anything. Off the Vine was last week. And you plucked somebody off the vine last week, which I thought was very interesting. So...
did we also have things falling on us from off the vine?
You had all kinds of crazy, weird things happen last week. This is a D&D 5e campaign in a homebrew world. Everything so far has taken place on one island, the island of Elixia, which is in the middle of the ocean between two big continents and not near to anything, actually. Our awesome players are Morgan, Tiffany, Dylan, and Brandon. I'm going to let them introduce themselves right now, and they're all there. So why don't we start with Morgan?
Moi?
Yeah, why not?
What's up, everybody? I am Morgan. I'm with Mindflayed Mondays. If you're looking for somebody to help you run a D&D game, we have some amazing dungeon masters for hire. Check out the website, mindflayedmondays.com. We also have t-shirts on Amazon and awesome products on Redbubble. And as always, thanks, Tiffany. I will always say that to you because you're the one who introduced me to it. And we have amazing content on the DM's Guild. We just released a new subclass. It's a Blood Hunter subclass called the Order of the Siphoner. So if you're interested in the idea of being able to drain magic from your enemies or from artifacts or even spells cast on an area, this might be a subclass that you'd want to check out. So yeah, and I play Vezrin on this wonderful cast. And as always, I'm just excited to be here to play with these amazing people.
Brandon.
Hi, Brandon. I play Morcon von Amstel, and I'm sure there's absolutely nothing ominous with Scott starting the session with, they've been only on this island so far.
Nope.
Nothing ominous at all, I'm sure. Just excited to play today and see what happens.
Let's go to Dylan.
Hi, I'm Dylan. I play a Slove, the Dragonborn Barbarian. I have not much else to say. I'm pretty excited to play tonight. And let's get into it.
And Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I play Kaverdwin Sagewin. She's also known as Dwin. I'm the bard of the group. I also run my own campaign called Dungeon Damsels. So
This is their shirt and logo.
Yes. We have merch. You can find us on YouTube and on pretty much any podcast form. I asked one of my players to describe the campaign to me because I don't know how to describe my campaign. And she said it's roleplay heavy with a lot of heart and a lot of goofy moments and a lot of drama.
Bradenton as anime.
What?
Bradenton, the show Bradenton as anime.
Okay, sure. I'll go with that. And yeah, we got a really great team here too. We got a lot of great actors, great players, great stories. So glad to hear.
Right. So why don't we do a recap? We can do it collectively and fairly quickly. I don't think last week was all that complicated. So.
Well,
No,
we started off in the tunnels, yes? Like this, we got to the tunnels.
Yep.
Tunnels?
and it was a very interesting session because we had decided to enter the town
Yeah.
for a little bit of reconnaissance. And that reconnaissance I should have put reconnaissance in quotation marks because it went awry pretty quickly
Yeah.
with the sort of on the spot heist of a pair of bodies.
Yes.
It's-
Right.
or-
Body snatching.
One
Body
thing
snatching.
I kind of screwed us up. We started in the camp where Eslov got a potion
That's true. Yeah.
that would
Oh,
let
yeah.
him turn into human. So I just want to make sure we say that because he's like a very rare sight on this island, and since we're wanted, it's kind of hard to hide him. So we did work with a Fae individual. By
Diabid?
I mean me.
You paid the
naked
price.
some price to help Eslov out.
Yeah, he paid a price.
And we should mention what Eslov looks like right now. Instead of this stoic dragonborn, he's this little fleshy meat sack.
Ew.
Talks like this.
who can still kick ass.
Just okay,
His name
guys,
is
but-
like Eric, right?
Yeah, it's Eric.
Human
and then
name
you-
is Eric.
And then you were Erica.
Yes, we were siblings. Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
And
That was funny.
The bodies that we so Eslov and Caradwin were together in our reconnaissance, and the bodies that we stole were going to be put on display as this is what happens to those who cross the
The body.
the Viscount. And
Yeah.
so Eslov said, "Nope, that's not happening. We're taking these." So I'm like, okay. So then we're running across town with dead bodies, and then
For a good cause.
we're
While you-
definitely-
And while you guys were running across town, Morcon and I were trying to make our way to the Soul, and we had a plan, or so Vezran thought. Vezran's like, I'll pretend to be the elderly father and you be my son who's escorting me, which Morcon said, sure. And as soon as Vezran turned into the old man, Morcon chose to take on the form of a well-known local priest who talks a lot, which then brought immediate attention to us in the street. And we were kind of like being taken in for questioning.
I don't think being Moraine brought any more attention than the fact we weren't supposed to be walking in the street and we were.
That,
Bingo.
but see, that Vezran thinks that it might have been less noticeable. So.
Right.
You're probably 100% right, but Vezran's like, if he would have just been some nobody, then maybe we would have got away. But no, we heard a big boom because you guys. What did you guys do? Oh,
I cast I cast a big spell. Let me look it up real quick. Earth tremor.
Paradigm
Yes.
caused an earthquake.
Yeah.
it was perfect timing too, because when you were doing the earth tremor, I was trying to create a distraction because they were trying to bring us in, and I did like a voice, and it was like perfect timing because the voice yelled right as the tremor, which get the guards to let us go, and then we used that time to backtrack to come look for you, and then.
Yeah. Then combat ensues when we wind up fighting some guards and the
And the
illustrious. Yeah. What's his name?
Who-
Lasat?
happened to be a dragon weapon.
Lacerta. Lacerta.
Lacerta. Yeah, Lacerta. Soulmite.
And
Absolutely got their asses handed.
They did.
yeah, we pretty.
It was shameful. It was
It was-
shameful.
We
we-
broke
we
his
slighted
weapon. You know.
I was gonna say, I
bread
think
and butter.
Morcott was pretty much key in us kicking their ass because he shattered their weapons
He did.
and shield and stuff.
It would have gone a lot differently if Morgan
Yes.
hadn't broken that
Yeah.
guy's spear. Because
If
Boy,
he
was he
wasn't
ready to
off by
do his
throwing
best.
it in the sand, he would have been fine.
Yeah, he
Morcott-
was ready to throw
Morcott-
down.
Morcott was the MVP of that fight, I would say.
Really.
Yeah.
I don't think Morcon was there. That was Moraine.
Yeah,
Oh.
Moraine.
Moraine.
Very Moraine.
Poor
It was
Moraine. He's
Moraine.
gonna
Then we-
get Moraine killed for shit he wasn't even a part of.
Either that or Moraine will become the hero of the city and no one will acknowledge us.
Before we get started, I want to tell everybody, check out tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, Tales from the Tavern. I'll be on there as a guest with some other DMs, talking D&D, answering just probably stupid, inane questions, or answering them stupidly, I'm not sure which, with a bunch of people.
Is it 8
There's-
p.m. Eastern?
Eastern, EST, yes. So it'll be fun. It's a great show. It's 2 hours long, and We always get asked what are our favorite drinks when you're playing. I'm not really sure what I'm going to answer tomorrow. I'll have to talk to Brandon. What's the best drink for boozing it up during D&D? So I hope to see you tomorrow night too. And
That's what's her name?
Gamer Mom Luna.
Yes, tell Luna
Yeah.
I said hi. That it's a fun show. I love being on that show myself. She's a wonderful host.
Yeah, it's at Shared EXP RPG, which is Shared Experience RPG. So, hope to see you tomorrow. Hello, Optional Rule. Welcome. We're just doing our recap, so continue. So where did...
After we defeated Lacerta and the guards, we basically took them all. We basically captured all of them and then took them to the tunnels, and started to basically question them about what was going on and attempt to also turn them. And Eslov had pretty awesome conversation with Lacerta.
He did. I love that conversation.
Slightly revealing conversation.
Yeah, it was cool.
And
Dwayne.
we had our conversation.
Yeah, Dwayne and Vezran had a little moment. It was tender. Siblings.
Yes, newly found siblings. And I think that's where we ended, right? Where we were going to head out in the morning and take these people to the camp.
And you're waiting for Magpie to return.
Yes.
Magpie is a gnome scout who went into the city. So I don't remember whether you said you were going to wait for her or whether you were going to leave and then come back for her. So
No, I think
We were gonna wait for her.
that's what I thought. Okay.
And I think the other guards from the camp that we left at the entrance of the cave were coming in to talk to the city guards about like the true nature of the resistance.
Yeah, we were bringing them in
Yeah.
because for two reasons. One, for that to like kind of build that rapport between the two groups to show that both sides aren't as evil as is being led to believe, but also to make sure that they're safe, that they're camping with us and not just out in the wild by themselves.
Yeah. So you get back out to the end of the tunnel where you're going to wait, and as you get out there, it starts to rain, which is common this time of year. It's spring. You get a lot of showers here, and sometimes they're just downpours that go on and on. Pretty typical. So I imagine you're hanging out in the end of the inside the cave then rather than outside of it, because I don't think you have any kind of tents or
Not
things.
really, no.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Not with us.
not honest, yeah.
And after a couple of hours, you see a little light down the tunnel, kind of going back and forth, kind of like moving back and forth.
Is it really low to the ground?
It's pretty low, yeah.
Okay. I think it's Magpie.
And Magpie
I don't think it's any-
is short even for a gnome.
Little thing. I'll go up to the light.
Well, as you're getting closer, as you start moving towards, you start hearing her whistling.
I thought we lost her for a second.
It's just been doing that. Okay, so she's whistling.
Yeah, she's whistling as she comes.
Oh.
Ah, you're there. Ah, thank goodness, Caradwin. I have news.
Oh, good.
Let's catch up with the rest. There's some very interesting things going on in the town. I would say Phelan's kind of a center of activity in a way. So whatever you did, I don't know what you did, but suddenly the guards doubled up quickly and they started shutting everything down, and anybody on the street was arrested. I don't know. I heard a big boom at some point. I'm assuming it was one of you.
Which is right. I mean, that's a fair assumption.
No, that wasn't us. There was a boom in the city.
I didn't hear it.
It was us. We just.
Hold on. I look over at Lacerda. Did you hear a big boom?
Oh, and she stops when she sees Lacerda, a little further back, and the guards.
Other, like 4 people. Don't worry about them.
You took hostages?
They're not hostages.
Oh,
The hostages.
That's a harsh term.
That's a harsh word. It's just,
We're not using them.
Yes. It's
We-
more like
Not yet, at least.
safely keeping them.
We,
We're
we
keepers.
encountered them. We did battle. Nobody was killed. We took them to show them that what they've been told is incorrect. So until we have this trust, we do have them bound. So at this time, they would be sort of prisoners, I would say, but
Kind of. It's more of a light use.
Acquaintances.
Like-
Let's just say they're acquaintances.
Forced acquaintances. That's a good way to look at it.
I like that. Forced acquaintances. I
and
like
one of the guards goes, "So I can leave then if I'm not a hostage?"
No.
Well, we could let you go, but if you go and you don't know the true information, you will either A, be used to hurt innocent people, or B, killed for knowing of us and not trying to bring us in. And I don't want you to be killed. I'm sure you don't want to die either.
So, several things happened though. The boom went off. The guards doubled up, and I was I was heading into an area that was nearing the Soul, and it's a very rocky area, kind of higher than the rest of the city, I guess. And I kept hearing banging, like steel, like blacksmiths working, I guess. And when I got in that area, there were guards everywhere, like everywhere, and they had little cloths or something above them in all the alleys. So I avoided that area, of course, because whatever's going on there, too many guards for me to handle. But
The art
when
district?
it sounds like it probably is.
Okay. Sorry, I wanted to ask before we went forward because that's what I'm thinking it was.
And
I
everybody
mean,
moved.
little cloths
Damn it.
above their head, like
No, like
a-
like a tarp or something above them in the alleyways. Guess to keep the sun or the rain off them, I suppose. And then an entourage of a couple of carriages and a bunch of guards showed up in town, and suddenly everybody was at attention, and I would say fear was in their eyes more than anything else. And that's when I said, I need to get out of here. This does not look good for Magpie.
Can you describe the carriage that you saw?
Oh, it was, I would say, fancy. There were two of them.
did it have any emblems on it?
Oh, yes, the unicorn of the house.
Well, we can take a wild guess on who was in that one. Sounds like Aylin's in town.
We may not have time. If what he's planning to do, if they may already be close. If they have tarps in the alleys to hide their activity, perhaps they know that I have my familiar. Perhaps they're trying to keep the familiar from being able to see from above. And
True.
if Aylin and Talon, Talbamis, are here, perhaps they are very, very close to achieving their goal with those artists.
So what's our next plan of action?
Perhaps
No,
we should convince Talon to come out here and parlay as she had us do before.
She's not interested in parlaying with us. No, we have
Well,
nothing to
she-
parlay for.
Yeah, we don't really have much to offer her.
What was the parlay before the battle with Broken Fox? She wishes to communicate with us to an extent, at least she did back then.
And last time it didn't seem to go so well, did it? I think it's a
Last-
bad idea.
Last time, it didn't work out, and she ended up killing my eldest brother, who was one of her own pawns.
I heard one of them saying something about a Shandao. I'm not really sure what that is.
Does that mean anything to any of us?
I'll allow everyone but Eslov to make a history check.
Always gotta single me out, huh, Scott?
I do in this case. Not always.
It's a 15.
Okay.
I'm assuming a 4 probably that totally makes it, right?
No, 15 didn't make it either.
I got a 6, or not 6. I had a 6
Yeah.
plus 4, so 10. 10.
No, doesn't mean anything to any of you.
No idea what that is.
Lacerta, and also the others that are here, do any of you know what that might mean? Have you ever heard that word before?
Lacerta looks at all of you and goes, "That's the four-armed race.
The what?
The four-armed race.
I look at everyone else.
From far to the east. Or from here, it might even be west.
And I thought bird people were strange.
Oh, four-armed. Interesting.
They have a lot of master sculptors and artisans.
Yeah, I wonder why.
What was the name of that thing again, Colin?
Shem Dao.
Shandao.
Oh, Shan? Oh.
Shan.
Shandao. Four-armed race. Master artist?
Artisans and artists, yeah. A lot of them. I mean, it's not all they do, but there are a lot of them that are that.
Okay, so they have one of those there, is what they're saying?
And thank you, Underground Oracle Publishing, for that awesome thing. Shout out to them for that cool for them.
You guys. I love Underground Oracle. They're amazing.
I thought you were talking about someone in chat.
Me too. Well,
So,
I mean, it sounds like they're close to making the thing for the chisel. Do we want to try to get it before they're done? I mean,
I don't know. Well, the thing is one, they may just be very close. Two, they may already have it. We still need to get Lacerta and the others to understand the dangers of what's going on. Besides, there's not much they can do with the chisel if they don't have the mask. The chisel is only one part of the equation. So even if they have the chisel, we still have the other part of the equation they need.
We've had
true.
6
That's
months.
probably why they want to find us.
But I think we should move this group back and let AWOC and the others that are there in the resistance know what's going on before we proceed forward. Obviously, our timetables may have changed, but we need to know.
Sounds like timetable needs to happen now.
Magpie, were you able to discover where any of the major leadership is currently staying at inside the city?
They're staying near the area where all those guards were.
By the soul.
Well, not far from the
I didn't make it to the Soul, but it is near the Soul and near that area of the high ground that you call the artist district or whatever. Yes. They're not in the jail. In the jail area, that apparently is just regular guards. So, sounds to me like they have two sets of guards going on or something.
You know, this is just an idea. If Talbames and Aelin are here, it leaves potentially the Chiral to be open for the taking.
It does,
So-
but does Chiral have any actual importance?
Yes and no. It's the seat of the power. If we have the power, then we can say that they are not the ones in charge. We can eventually take control and do the Force that way. Whoever's in charge, whoever holds Chiral, is who's in charge. It's just an idea. We can talk about it more, but it's just an idea I want to throw out there for consideration.
The concerning part to that is I really don't feel that anything we've learned up to this point has said that Chiral is of any importance besides the fact that they want the influence over your family.
What
Whatever they need to do with the artist, they had to do here. So whatever
Yes,
they're
but
going to do is going to be
if
the
we
same
have
thing.
if we have the mask and we have the city that is not easy for them to get into because they've blocked all the tunnels into the city or into the castle. If we take control of that, we could force them to come to us and we have more control of the situation. Instead of fighting them in the middle of the streets of Phelan, we could force them to confront us at Chiral. reducing the casualties of innocence. Just a concept, and I don't know how well it is. They may have left it very well guarded, but it is just something for us to consider if we're trying to. They wouldn't necessarily expect us to take Hyrule right now. If we were to do that, it would throw them off, and it would make them have to rethink their
It would
plan.
be an unexpected move. I'm not sure how we would
No, I'm
claim
not.
a city.
I'm not exactly sure either. But if my brother and sisters did not go, and we took the castle, and then we told the story, and then there's 3 against 1, it might sway the others to, not follow Aelin, which would reduce their numbers of who will follow them in the battle, and then we could have control of the city and force them to meet us on terms that are more to our liking.
Do you think you have people who'd be loyal to you in this city?
I do believe so, especially with the way Aelin and Talbamis have ran things, but I don't know for sure. To be honest, I do not know. So we could table the discussion, bring it up with Awok, and see what the others think in the Resistance, what they think might be the best move. Plus, we still
Either
don't know.
way, we don't have a
even
lot
know.
of time.
Yes, and to be fair, we do not know for sure if Talbamis and Aelin are even the ones that showed up in those carriages. Magpie was not able to confirm who was in them. Yes, is that correct, Magpie?
Yes. I don't know who all the people are in there. So.
It's true. It could be just a subordinate.
Could be. So.
Again.
Just the thought, though.
Well, I think it's a thought worth entertaining.
I honestly think it's a bad decision if it means we forfeit Phelan now.
Yes.
It's true. I don't want to forfeit Phelan.
Neither do I. I'm just thinking if we can't take Phelan, because they have a lot of guards, they have a lot of numbers here, a lot of innocent people that could be risked. Hyrule, even though it is considered the capital, there's less civilians that are inside the castle, less danger to those that are of innocent. That is my only thought process with that. I see your point. I don't want to necessarily concede Phelan to them, but I'm just trying to think of the best way to reduce innocents from being harmed.
Well, you would know that Kyrol, although its population is much smaller than Phelan, a larger percentage of the population is professional soldiery.
Yeah. But I don't think all of them are under control. And if the siblings showed up, I think a lot of them would not sure if they should keep their loyalty to Aelin, especially with the things they probably have seen and the treatment of so many people. Roth and Ileana have both been known to be kind. Alred has shown that he will socialize with the troops and he sits with them. To see them, knowing that the kind ones have returned, and knowing that Aelin and Talbamis have been terrible, or Talon as they would know her, they might be more willing to, bend the knee to these siblings, which would make it easier to control the military, danger less lives, all that good stuff. But it's a risk. I mean, any of them's a risk, either way.
It's also assuming that the shuffle of guards didn't happen there; it happened everywhere else.
Well, the shuffle of guards there would be more in our favor anyways, because then less of them would know the area as well as I do or my siblings do. And we can use that to our advantage if they did that. But regardless, again, I'm not saying that we should do that. It's just, I thought about that and I was like, this could be an interesting way to try to force them into a battle that's more to our liking.
It's true. I think we need to figure out who exactly we're dealing with, though, before we start running to new cities.
I agree.
mean, Scott, it is fair saying that Hyrule is more of a fortress city, right?
Yeah, it's more of a fortress than anything else. Even the city around it is there to support the fortress.
Yeah. Okay.
In that regard, though, it is also most likely going to be harder for us to take. Much harder.
Yeah.
It would be challenging. I'm just thinking with them out, it might open up more opportunities. But we don't even know if they're out, so...
I think if we're going to risk something to save as many lives as possible, then it has to be through dialogue.
Well, again, that would be my goal with there. Would be trying to talk to the soldiers that were left. Dialogue. I don't want to
Well,
go fight.
Let's.
But yeah,
let's I
let's.
think let's just table it for now. What do we want to do right now? We want to return to camp with these
We should sleep tonight.
acquaintances.
Sleep tonight. Take shifts, and then head out in the morning.
Yeah, maybe it'll stop raining by then.
Yes.
I don't know that we really need to take our new acquaintances with us. They saw what happened to the last people who talked to us. They won't bring it up.
Well, no. Lesota has already agreed to meet them, and regardless of what has happened to the others, he still needs to be convinced. He already said that he's willing to meet with them.
And then he can come with. I really don't feel any reason to keep them chained up as we have.
Well, that's fair. I would say we unchain them. We don't give them their weapons back, though, in case they try to turn on us. Well, not that they have much weapons at the moment. And
We'll have
and
to
let-
bring. We brought them blindfolded down here, so we'll have to bring him back up.
well, I don't want to bring them back up. If we bring them back up, Morcant, we're sentencing them to death, or for them to let them know where we are. I think we untie them, and if they, once we leave here, if they want to risk their lives, they go back. But I think they should stay here for the night.
If we're not near them right now, right, Scott?
No, I would say.
If you don't want to be, you don't need to be.
I want to be a distance away. I'm going to be like,
Okay.
the one problem I do have is last time Awok talked about prisoners being taken, he said he would kill most of them. And we promised these men safety, and I don't know that we can deliver that.
I think you misunderstood. I think Awok only meant to kill the prisoners to show that the people he was letting go didn't do it freely, so that way it wouldn't bring their cover under scrutiny. I don't think he just wants to kill innocent people. I don't get that vibe from him. He was saying, because they were trying to bring in the captain, that we'd have to capture the unit that was bringing her to where she needed to go, kill some of them, and then let them all flee to make it look like it was a battle, that it wasn't just like, okay, here you go. I don't think Awok just wants to kill people willy-nilly.
Well, what I'm saying right here and right now is that if we take these men in there, I will defend them regardless of who comes at them. And I don't know if we want to put ourselves in that situation.
No, I will as well.
Awok's full intent.
No,
Am I in earshot of this conversation?
I will
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, you're there.
I stand with Morgan.
I do as well. I gave my word as a noble that no harm would come to them if they chose to come with us. This is not a
Morgan,
question.
I think that their security force is enough.
I don't think Awok's
But-
or anyone at the camp will want to fight us. We're essentially
Yeah, but I
their.
don't want to be in the business of making new enemies in the middle of this if Awok has a different intent.
Awok's not a murderer.
No, I don't see that at all.
Very verbally said something quite different to me the other day.
No, I think your interpretation of what he was trying to do is much different than mine. I agree that he was willing to take lives.
The problem is I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know what the last few months has done to his worldview.
Well, my
I just
interpretation
think
of
that that's a risk, and that's my position.
Well, here's the thing. We need to create dialogue between the resistance and the soldiers in the city, yes? If we
That
want
would be
this,
ideal.
this is our opportunity. The man at arms, the one they brought in and told millions of lies to about what is going on outside these walls, is willing to meet with Awok. If we want to create a way to get into Phelan, this may be our only opportunity.
The resistance fears Lacerda. You really think they're going to welcome him with open arms?
I think
Might
if
take
we
a bit
bring-
of convincing, but we've.
I think if he walks in with us and we tell them what our thoughts are, they will respect it. They've been waiting for us for 6 months before
Well,
they made a move. I'm pretty
let's-
sure.
How about this? We find a neutral place to have a meet. Just in the
I'm-
woods,
I'm fine with this as well.
you know.
Perhaps
Then
we
we're
get
not.
close-
Then we're not giving out the location of a camp, and it's everyone feels better when they're on a neutral ground. So we'll just send the scouts ahead. to go get a representation of the camp, and then we'll stay with Lacerta and amongst the guards of who wants to come with us. Make sure they're safe and oversee the delegations that happen.
I'm in agreement with this. Are we all in agreement on this idea? A meeting at a neutral location in the forest.
I agree.
Probably the best we can do given the situation.
All right. Well, I think we should, to show good faith and hopefully show that we are trusting them and that they can trust us. I think we should unbind them for the evening. Obviously, keep watch. Do not arm them, but let them see that we are not the enemies that they think we are. I think that will build more trust and create better possibility for dialogue between the resistance and them as well.
Right. I agree. I don't think we need them to stay chained up now.
So let's go speak with Lacerta and the others.
And he's standing there stoically, just watching the other two soldiers.
Lacerta,
Yes, sir.
we have spoken, and a decision has been made. And we'd like you to hear those words from us. We would like, as we talked about earlier, taking you to meet with leadership from the resistance. Are you still willing to do this?
Yes. As I said before, I said then, my mind would not change by standing out in the rain a little bit.
For your protection, as well as the resistance protection, we will do is we will meet somewhere on neutral ground, so not to reveal their location, and also not to have you in the middle of their camp. And that way you can talk to them on more even grounds. And to show that we mean you no harm, and that we are trying to trust you, in hopes that you will trust what we are telling you, we will remove the bindings that are on you and your men, but we must insist that you do not try to grab a weapon to harm any of us, or try to flee in the middle of the night until we can sort this out in the morning.
You have my word.
Can you make sure your men give you their word?
Can I insight check him?
Go ahead.
Um, 17.
He seems to be very honorable with the words he says. If he says something, he does that.
This man would never lie to us. I don't think he can lie.
Without a sota, I'm assuming we used ropes, right?
The what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
We didn't
unbind
have
the,
chains.
I'll unbind the ropes on his wrists and offer him something to drink.
Immediately takes a swing.
Knocks me the hell out. Takes the cup and hits me with it.
Grabs your bow and arrow off your shoulder, shoots everybody.
TPK right here.
Do not try to run or flee. If you do so, they would be in their right to kill you, he says to the other ones.
And we do not wish to do this, but we will do it if we need to not just protect ourselves, but others that we represent.
And they seem more scared than anything else. Like, fear is on your side.
We're confident enough in our abilities that we're eyeing them and saying, sure, try your luck.
It's an advanced intimidation tactic. I love it.
Go ahead and try.
Every time I untie one of the guards, I will offer them like a piece of jerky or like something to chew on, something to keep their hands busy, so they feel a little bit at ease.
And then, well, let's set up camp and set up watch. Unless anybody else has some ideas of things to discuss, I think we should rest before tomorrow.
No, I'm good. Good. I think we're in a good a spot as we can be. Eslov, do you want to be a dragonborn again? I don't think we need to have him as a human anymore.
Good point. I kind of forgot I was in. Oh, I also forgot to do Eric's voice this whole time.
It's fine. We know you were in Eric's voice.
You don't sound right as a human.
Yeah, it's a
I
little.
guess I'll take the gourd and I'll throw it back.
Okay. And over about 10 or 15 minutes, you slowly transform. Uncomfortably.
Better.
This claws and spikes start sticking out of the skin, and slowly you morph into yourself.
That feels so much better.
Yeah, Carriagewin's just watching with like, this is so fascinating.
It's like
Watching
body
this.
horror.
Yeah. Oh.
And Lacerda stares at you while that's happening.
Yeah, I figured he would.
Question.
Well, how does he react once I'm in my final form?
One question before you answer that. When he was in his human form, was his tattoo still on his body?
Good point.
You didn't see it.
Damn.
Sure.
Because he didn't have his shirt off
Yeah.
at all.
I'm just curious if the tattoo would have stayed or not, you know? Damn, I wish we would have looked.
It just
And-
wasn't on anyone's mind.
Yep.
I would assume that it did, since it's a magical tattoo. But who knows?
And Lacerda just nods,
I'll give him a grin.
like affirmatively.
You know, Eslov, I love the way you look
Impressed?
in your normal form. But I hope to God it was the right time to switch back.
Well, as do I, of course.
Who's taking the first watch?
Yep.
I suppose I can.
I'll sit up with
Works with
Eslov.
me.
Don't feel too tired yet.
Sure, I can take second or third.
I'll
Whatever's
stay up,
fine.
I'll stay up with Eslov.
Right.
And then
I'll go to sleep.
perhaps Magpie could sit up with you.
Yeah, oh, Magpie and I can have lots to catch up on.
And then Morcott and our other gods could stay up for the final shift.
Sounds good. Alright, wake me up when it's my turn. Just curl up as much as a giant purple can curl up.
You
She's
curl
tired,
up.
she's out.
Yeah, you all curl up. You get your rest. Nobody tries to run, flee, grab a weapon, or anything like that. And it's morning.
Awesome. Do we get our full rest?
You do.
I like to think on our shift that we probably tried to talk a little bit, but we're both just kind of like don't know what to say to each other right now.
Yeah, I would have been looking at the stars.
Okay.
Is there anything of interest tonight, Scott?
So you're gonna hang out outside of the cave.
Yeah, a little bit if I can.
Okay.
Would I still be within earshot?
Yeah, I mean everyone's basically just inside the entrance of the cave.
Okay, yeah, so I'm not gonna get too far out. Just enough to where I see the stars. If I get a little wet, doesn't matter.
And when you do, Lacerda stands up when you walk out. May I?
I look at Vezran. Hey, he.
If you feel, I'm sure you feel comfortable with him. That's fine. I will stand here with the others.
Oh, be my guest.
What are you looking for? Aerial
Suppose I'm looking
attack?
for, I guess, solace. I don't know. There's nothing up there except the stars. But the stars can tell a lot to those who know how to read them.
I've heard that many mariners, they use the stars as guidance. The moons too.
And I learned how to read them through a mirror.
Ah, you are a mariner?
Well, I would hope to be, or I hope to be.
Well, one day I hope that you get to visit Mirador, where the sea is everything. Although it seems to
So-
be everything here too. But different.
Is it cold in Mirador?
What?
Is it cold in Mirador?
Oh, never.
I like the sea, but I also like the cold. If I can live with both, that's the kind of life I want to live.
That is interesting. So, you're from the northern wastes, from the snows in the north.
Correct?
What happened with your tribe that you come here?
Does he remember that we already had this conversation, or is he asking for more specific details?
He's asking for more specific details. Seems.
Well, as I told you, ritual combat was what exiled me. Combat that I initiated, or that I started. Although, it was a long time coming
How
for
many
the person who I fought.
are there? Many tribes or clans up there of Dragonborn?
I don't know how many there are, but there's dozens at least.
Are there many resources, food,
We only take what
building
we need.
material?
There's no industry like there is here. There's no waste. Whatever we take from the land, we try and give as much back.
That makes sense. Perhaps one day we'll take opportunities to visit each other's lands
Would be nice.
once this is over.
Yeah.
Whatever
this is-
whatever this is.
Any laughs?
I do enjoy the rain though.
It's a bit warm for me. I much prefer the snow.
And he continues just hanging out for a little while until your watch is over, and you switch
And he
watches.
stabs me in the back.
No.
With
And-
Vezran's knife.
Now, is there anything in the stars tonight? Anything?
There, there's not the all you see is Torve is the only moon out. Mave is not out. It seems like a very calm and calming evening. And you get to morning.
Once again, I have managed to get through another inquiry about my backstory with the same amount of vagueness that I always do. I'm gonna make you guys work to figure out what happened to me.
Yeah. So you get up in the morning. They all, the other soldiers, they look like they didn't sleep great, but they get up with everyone, and Magpie's
A
up.
long walk today.
Yeah, Magpie's up early. Well, let's go. The sun's coming up.
Yes.
All
We
right,
should
just
head
writing
out.
notes.
Magpie, once we get closer to the camp, I would like for you to go ahead and meet up with Awok and let him know we have somebody we'd like him to meet on neutral ground. So,
Well, we have the other scouts too. We can send them with her.
well, if she needs another scout, yes, of course. I just figured it's better for her. I trust her more so than. This is not in front of the others. I trust her more so than the others because she's a friend of yours.
Sure. Well, we need to figure out where our neutral ground is first.
We can look for it on the way there. I'm sure we can find some place once we get closer.
And you know that the camp moved, so you know that you have to go to the other place that the camp is.
Does Peridwin know, since she's has traversed the forest before, do I know of a nice glade in the area, or where there's a distinctive rock or
Sure.
something?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
So, I know a place where there's this distinctive rock that we could probably use.
Where is this distinctive rock that you speak of?
I've heard of the legendary. I've heard of the legendary distinctive rock. I'd love to.
Well, yeah, well,
Oh yes, my people still tell stories of the distinctive rock.
are there
Wait.
lions in Elixia? Because-
You've even heard of the distinctive rock in the Blue Waste? That's amazing.
You mean? Are you speaking of the boring stone?
well, some people call it that too, but you know, it's it's just a real distinctive rock.
That's all there is to it.
So well, I'll take them to the distinctive rock.
Now,
I
Scott,
want this rock
I-
to be like this big. Too.
I want Scott. When we get to
That's
this
a
rock,
good
I want a very visual description of this distinctive rock
See,
from you.
I know this is going to be terribly juvenile, but I'm just imagining it like shaped like a dick. All right.
That is being very juvenile.
I know.
And that's why they would say distinctive rock as a euphemism.
Distinctive. I was just thinking of Pride Rock because I'm a Disney child, but
Okay, well, I'm sorry to ruin your image of
Obviously the wrong stream.
I love how this has turned into a long ass running joke, like for like the last like 2-3 minutes here. The distinctive rock.
I don't mean to make fun of you.
no, it's fine. I could just see like Caradwin saying, "So this is Pride Rock," and this looks like a dick. And you're like,
No,
Guys.
he looks down at his
at his own. He's just like,
he's like
"Huh."
Well, you travel to the distinctive rock, and it rains the whole time you're going. It's like a downpour, so everybody's like just dragging, except Lacerda, who seems to really kind of love the rain.
yeah, Eslov is like a cat. Like he's miserable.
Every few minutes when I start to get soaked, I just press digitation myself to make myself dry, so that way I'm not so bad. Dry,
Eslov looks at you with
dry.
jealousy.
dry. I do to Eslov too if he wants some. You want some of this? Here you go. Here you go. Anybody who wants to be dry for a minute, here you go.
Take it. We all take it.
It's a warm
And-
brain.
And you get to this stone that's in the side of a hill, really huge. It has a lot of. No, I can't say that. I was saying it was like marble with a lot of veins, and I realized that's just not going to come out right after the first conversation.
Too far. It's really grassy near the base.
They're just
He's an ice
boulders there.
Oh God. Oh.
You had to go with distinctive rock, didn't you? You had to go.
Okay.
It was that or just a glade, so I was like, let's just go back.
So there's a very distinctive rock that does not look anything like
It's not
the
valid.
euphemism. It looks more like a vulva.
Yes.
Ah, see,
Yes.
it's just
Yes.
you got a crack in the middle.
Wow.
How long is this gonna go on?
It's done. So
Feel like
you're there. So who are you sending to the main camp now?
Who said magpie?
Okay, just Magpie or Magpie and the other guards? I don't remember
Match
which
the
side.
guard,
Okay, so the other guards.
the resistance guys.
Well, you know that from here they're
For her safety.
yeah. From here, you know they're about 3 hours from that camp, which is probably good. Leaves you a little bit of space and time. And she heads out with the other guards. She chats them up as they're heading out. She's very chatty.
Eslov.
She can talk your ear off.
Eslov, while we wait, perhaps you and Lacerta want to go hunt something? If he's interested, he can use my bow for now.
Goes with Lacerta hunt. I look at him.
Of course, I hunt.
Do you like hunting?
I like eating.
Okay, that's good enough
You're
for
very,
me.
you're very
I will pull
pragmatic.
off the bow and I will hand it to him and I'll say, "This is my brother's bow. I'd like it back."
And he takes it. And he looks at you strangely, like it's such an odd thing to be for a prisoner to be handed a weapon.
And I look at him and I go,
Really
"I know."
prisoners, are they?
I look at him and I know it feels weird, But this is me showing you that we want to trust you. We want you to know that we are not the enemy. That's all I ask is you keep that in mind today when you speak with the people from the resistance.
So who's going hunting?
Eslov, and you, I can go if you want me to, but it is, hunting tends to be more of the less noise you make, the better it goes. But I can go on my own if we want food.
If you want to, if you guys want to go, that's fine. Morkant and I can watch the others while we wait. You gentlemen aren't going to flee. This is right.
And they just, their eyes widen. No.
Oh, these poor guys.
And I turn to them. I go, "You don't have to be terrified. We're not just going to outright kill you. Only if you try to hurt you. Only we're not going to hurt you."
Yes. Yes, we're not terrified anymore.
They're like sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like a drink?
How far away are we from the city?
Oh, you're a good probably 14 hours out, 15 hours out.
Oh,
Almost a day.
She's just gonna sit down. Well, if I'm not needed, I'm gonna get. She's gonna pull out her crwth and just start playing it. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'll prepare
Nice.
I'll prepare an area for a fire, so when they bring the food back, we can cook it. Hopefully, have it prepared by the time Awok or whoever comes to represent the camp.
Okay.
So that way, when we meet with him, everybody can eat together.
Okay. So Eslov and Lacerda go hunting. The rest of you stay back and practice your music. The
Any
two
requests?
I wonder what.
I asked the two guards to help me gather some firewood so we can all eat once the others arrive.
and they help you with that. And that actually seems to be good. It kind of takes their mind off the threat over their head.
And if they're willing, I'll tell stories about what we've gone through and ask them about some of their own adventures, just to kind of break that tension and share a little bit about me and learn a little bit about them, kind of thing, while we're gathering wood, and tell jokes, just to build that rapport.
Yeah, they listen.
Scott,
Yeah.
when I had talked to Lacerda underneath the stars, it would have been a draconic.
Yes.
Anytime
I
I
would've
talk to him
assumed.
privately or like just one-on-one, it's going to be in draconic.
Okay. He appreciates that. He sounds different. He understands the language, but the dialect is very different. Yeah.
Like, you don't speak it right, buddy.
I thought there were 4 guards. Did the 2 leave and we just have these 2 other ones?
Was it 4 you took? Oh, it was. Okay. Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we just have 4 of them with us.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There's like one missing. Didn't we have 4 guards?
There was one unconscious.
One
So
was happier than the other.
What?
what was that?
One
Brandon,
was just
can
than the other 3. Can I not be heard?
Your microphone's a little iffy right now.
Say it again.
I just said, like, looks like one of them was craftier than the other 3. Joe.
Oh.
So you go hunting, Eslov. As you're out, most of what you find are birds and small mammals like rabbits. Nothing big, no deer or anything like that.
Well, rabbits are fine.
Okay. So you get You get 3 conies, which are rabbits,
Rabbit.
and you get one large crow.
Okay. I hunt with a javelin.
Okay, you get it with the
not a
javelin.
bow or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. He gets 2. You get 2. You get the bird with the javelin, which is impressive. Impressive.
Oh, you think so? Thank you.
To kill a bird with a thrown weapon, that takes skill.
So I've practiced for years. You should see what I can do with a fishing rod. Or I guess maybe he would be spear fishing.
He knows how to fish.
And he's probably proficient in both.
Okay, yeah, it'll probably be both with a fishing rod, both angling and spear fishing.
Yeah. And you get back to camp after a while with the food. And they've got all the wood gathered, and there's a fire area set up, although there's no fire going yet.
Oof.
And now there's a
There
fire.
is now. Well, looks like you caught some. Some conies, and we got a crow.
It's not much, but should feed some of us.
Alright, we can...
The rabbits are pretty big there on
Oh, it's
Elixia.
like,
They're not like little bunnies. They're, 12
Are they like-
pounds.
They're man eaters.
They have arms,
They have arms.
like everything on this godforsaken island.
it's alright, we can just pop them in a stew.
To be
Feed
fair,
her
we have birds with 4 arms as well.
Yeah.
So the arm problem is just escalated another tier.
All right.
And-
So you get there. Fire's going. You start cooking the food. The guards seem to be pretty docile and disinterested in trying to flee.
Well,
You seem docile and disinterested to flee.
Dwayne will just notice them and look around at the forest and think, yeah, they probably don't want to flee in the forest.
Yeah, no. Everyone's heard all the stories about the forest. It's more terrifying than most other things to most people on the island.
Vezran thinks it has nothing to do with the forest. He thinks it has to do with the wonderful conversation he had with them while they were collecting firewood.
Is he like sitting all proud?
He's like, oh, yes, look, they're more comfortable now. They know that we're not dangerous. Everybody's happy.
And and as it starts to get dark, you see a light in the distance coming up, and you can hear the whistling of Magpie coming in, and with her is Ewok and several guards, 3 guards.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Oh.
whistle back to her.
And she comes up, we've arrived.
Oh, great, we got food, so...
Oh, thank goodness. I can't eat any more of this dried meat. Ugh, awful.
Ugh.
I don't even like eating meat. It's disturbing.
Well, we have more meat.
Well, you could thank Lacerta and Eslov here on the wonderful hunt. They're the ones who gathered the food for us.
Did we find any wild vegetation or fruits?
Sure.
Mushrooms.
Yeah,
When
it's
Eslov
spring.
hunts, he also forages
Yeah,
at the same time. So
it's
he looks for
spring.
mushrooms, too.
There's all kinds of stuff you can find in spring.
Oh, that's good. That's fine. Don't worry, Magpie. We found some mushrooms and some wild
Oh, thank
tubers.
goodness.
Yeah, we can set you up.
Oh, good.
Were you able to make contact with anybody? I saw the cards with you, but is Ewok anyone coming?
And Awok is with Magpie coming in.
I didn't. You said that. I didn't hear you before say that. So.
Yeah. He comes in with the 3 guards. Ah. It looks like everyone has made it intact and extra.
Yes.
Indeed.
Very interesting.
Indeed.
Eslov, would you like to do the honors and introduce Ewok to our new friend here?
Well, I think he can introduce himself. I would give him that honor.
and Lacerta stands up and looks down at Awak. I'm Lacerta. And Awak looks up at him. So there are two now. I am Awak. And his eyes open a little bit when he hears the name. I've heard of you. Oh, is that good or bad? I've heard that you are not to be trusted, and that you are the enemy of the island, leading, if not the resistance, at least a part of the resistance. Some of that is true, but he doesn't say which parts. And
Caradwin just kind of represses a sigh.
And then
Which part of never mind. Yeah, stuff that's happening.
Awak goes over and meets the other guards too. They give them their names, and he moves past.
We brought them here to speak with you because they've been told terrible things about the resistance and the dangers of beyond the woods, as well as ourselves. And we wanted to show them that what information they've been fed is false. We were hoping that perhaps you could explain to these men, or any of them women. Sorry, I want to ask before I just say men.
Of the guards, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, one of
these
them.
Men, we were hoping you could explain to these men and women that we are not their enemy, that we are here to help protect them from the usurper.
We're not your enemy. We will protect you from the usurper. And
I like to imagine he says it back in Vezran's voice because he's Kenku.
right,
Like, exactly.
Scott, can I just insight on Awak as he speaks to see if he seems how genuine he's seeming? In
Sure.
general?
Yeah.
That is going to be a 21.
He seems to be very genuine. We are not here to kill you. We want you to take arms against those who are oppressing you in the city. You're not even in your city. And they all are kind of affirmative about that. They realize they're not in their home city. You know why they do that, right? It's to separate you from your family, so your family can be a threat against you if you don't obey orders that you would never consider doing in your own home. And they look at him and they listen, and Lacerta goes, I was brought in from Arendelle. I'm not from Elixia. Yes, and I think that they have a leadership problem that they were hoping you could solve. And he doesn't say anything to that.
Well, he is a leader.
And Awak asks Morkant, what would you do with them if you were in my shoes?
You know, Awak, I'm not even sure that it was necessary to bring them this far. I say let them go to their home.
Do you think they could survive the forest on their own? And then they look like, well, no. Yeah, they look like, oh shit, what? And Lacerta looks at the guards. What are you afraid of? Your home? And they just don't say anything.
Their home is not the land. Their home is the cities.
The forests don't have a really good reputation.
And in fact, the resistance risks much just staying out in this forest because there are a lot of things out here who do not like those from the cities to be in here. I mean, it's a danger just being out here. I mean, if the resistance really wanted to cause problems, they would try to take over cities. But they don't. They're trying to do this peacefully.
Lacerta, we would welcome you in to assist us in changing the minds of those in the city, letting them understand that they're under oppression there now. Do you understand that? I'm a soldier. There are people not following orders well. But they're not following orders because they're, if not unlawful orders that not normal people, that people would not normally obey.
Well,
And
if we have, would you have them continue to listen to corruption? Or, well, let me ask you, like, what is order to you? And how do you decide who should rightfully be in charge? Someone who oppresses his people and separates people from their families and creates this sort of discourse and spreads lies, or a group of people who are trying to put order and peace back on the island.
Maybe we shouldn't ask leading questions. I already know Lacerta values justice. He told me.
Well, I'm asking him what he thinks justice is.
I've been on the island all of one day before you captured me, and there's definitely within the ranks of the guards of the city a, what do you call it, they're uncomfortable with the orders they're being given because they're not really soldiers, they're guards. A soldier would act differently than a guard. The guards acting as soldiers aren't following the orders the way they should because they're too close to the people that they're following orders against. I needed to assess that to try and figure, in my mind, when they brought me here, it was to assess the weaknesses of the guards being turned into soldiers and try and solve that problem. I think the problem is that they're not soldiers going to a war, they're soldiers punishing their friends and families and allies.
Lacerta, beyond that, you've been here for a day, and we're asking you to weigh in on things that are near impossible for you to weigh in. But in the time that you've been here, you've done battle with us, you were taken in, we freed you of your bindings, I even lent you my bow to hunt. The stories that you were told about my siblings, myself, and my comrades here. Looking into my eyes and speaking with me, do you believe that we are the kind of people who would kill my brother and try to throw this country, this kingdom into chaos? I ask you that question and that question only.
You do not seem like murderers to me.
Do we seem power hungry to you?
I can't assess what's in your hearts. I can only assess from the actions I've seen. You have not been unkind. You've made sure that everyone was comfortable enough. You've had regard for your for your captors. There's something to be said for that. That is honorable.
I just want you to consider that when you think of the stories you've been told already about the people here, about the soldiers and their ability to follow orders, the chaos that has ensued over the last 6 months. And I want you to consider those things when you look forward and look at things as they come, and not just take the word that was given to you by those that brought you here. There's much more going on.
Lacerda, how many of those guards do you think are fairly just unwilling to take up arms if they were being forced to against the people within Phelan?
From what I saw in the short time I was there, the guards will act more like soldiers when they're around the silent soldiers, more out of fear. But if left to their own devices, they would choose to try not to use force of arms against the townfolk.
And in your professional opinion, will they stay this way, or do you think whatever training program they have in place, these guards will become more like soldiers?
I would say they're mostly afraid of what's going on and wish to have it resolved. They've been away from their homes and families too long already. And guards don't take up the mantle of soldiers for a reason. They're not choosing to go off and fight wars. They're choosing to stay and either bring justice when justice is needed and keep the peace. Those are two different tasks. And most of them are not fit to be soldiers, but most of them are fit to be guards of the town of from wherever they're originally from. They seem to have that as something in their hearts. Most of them seem like good people, but in over their heads.
And I believe we had told him pretty like a lot of the detail about what happened with my brother and what Talbamise is. I know he necessarily didn't believe it, but I remember we were telling him we kind of like sped through like what we had told him, correct? Beforehand?
Yeah.
I would say on the information that we told you, just bear with me. Let's say what we told you is 100% true. I know you're weary to believe that at this time, with reason. You're new here. It seems like a crazy story. But if you were in our shoes, what would you do in knowing what we know? What would you do with somebody like you? What would you do in this situation with these cities? How do we protect these people?
How many soldiers do you have? And Awak says, you should not answer that question, Vestrin.
No, I wasn't going to. We have enough soldiers to do what we need to do, but we would prefer not to kill innocent people, especially those guards, as you said, who wish to return things to a better order, who want to go home to the families. I don't want to break those families.
Then you should kill the leaders and avoid the population at large. If you don't wish to create bloodshed of the commoners, they're hiding amongst the commoners. Well, not hiding. They're amongst the commoners, so it seems perfectly simple to me. You capture or kill those that are leading them and having them do the things that you find offensive.
If we were to challenge them to combat, would you stand aside or would you join in their side to raise us? If we want to fight them in honorable combat, us against them, the leadership, How would you feel about that? Would you feel a need to step in and protect your employer? Or would you step aside and let us handle it without extra bloodshed?
An interesting question. I'm not sure I have an answer for at the moment.
Well, I would say let's finish eating. Take time. If you have questions, ask us. You're here to learn, to see what you, and to determine what your views are on the situation, on the resistance, on the people in that city. So use
I don't
the time.
I don't see the resistance. I see a bird and 8 or 10 people. I don't know whether the resistance is real or it's
Insight. Is he trying to basically provoke us into showing him more information? Do I feel like he's trying to gather intel for them, or if he's just genuinely curious?
he seems to be trying to get information. But for what reason, it's hard to tell. He's not hiding the fact he's trying to get information.
Yeah.
I think the true resistance is those guards in the city. They just don't know it yet.
I would like to move forward into the city. If my brother or Tablamise is there, Talon as you would know her, I would like to challenge them. If those silent gods,
She
Or
was
any of-
arriving.
I would like to go into the city and challenge them. Us versus them. I don't know if the rest of you are for that. And in this,
I would do it. If we could just cut the head of the snake. I was just worried that we'd have to challenge them while they stood behind a fortress and we just have, civilians caught in the middle of it. But if we can lure them out like we've been kind of playing with that idea, I'd prefer that, because then we could just take care of them and be
Well,
done with it.
Talon should be in the city by now. She was to arrive before you captured me, or soon after you captured me. So
Is it
she at
just
least
Talon?
would be.
Well,
As far as I know, it was Talon. I don't know whether the other was going to be there.
I guess what it comes down to is this. I have an idea. It's a little deceptive, but it's hopefully to get us through. And it really would rely on, like I trusted you with my bow, you trusting us with what we wish to do. Maybe bring Eslov and myself in as prisoners. I can make myself look bloodied and beaten.
I will not be part of a deception against my employers.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
I'm no spy.
No, I don't want to be a spy. Bring us in. Dwin and Brandon would come alongside, and when we get to Tabamise, we would change, let her know we're there to fight her. The deception is not to be spies, it's to get us into the city in front of Tabamise so we can confront her. If we walk into the city, we'll never get a chance to confront her. She's a coward, and she will hide behind all of her pawns that she uses.
You can already get in the city. You've already shown that. You don't need me
Yes.
to be that.
But we got into the city and immediately ran into trouble with your guards.
Well, the guards have standing orders to confront anyone on the streets that isn't authorized to be on the streets.
I mean, we could just send her a letter saying, meet us here and we'll fight.
Does it have to be a fight? She offered parley before our last battle. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to speak again as she did before.
Morkan, what do you? Why?
I mean, I'm all
I
for
wonder what happened in the last 6 months, and perhaps
What
she
do you
has
think?
doubts that perhaps it's grown.
If she had doubts and they grew, the things wouldn't be as bad as they are on the island. She's twisted by her own beliefs in Karos. And not only that, she summons demons. She's corrupted lives throughout this land. She has taken souls throughout this land.
I was led to believe that originally that she was almost like a holy person.
Huh.
She did seem pretty surprised when those demons showed up.
She's
She
a fallen.
thinks herself a holy person.
She may have once been holy, but she has fallen from grace, and now
Okay, well, we.
Celestials don't steal souls.
She might not know she's doing it. I mean, if you remember, she seemed pretty surprised to some of those demons.
Maybe the demon surprised her, but when she takes that whip out and lashes onto people and pulls their souls to her, she has to know what she's doing.
Now is not the time to psychoanalyze the enemy.
What I'm saying is, she's corrupted this island. She's killed my brother, your lover, Dwyn. Do we really think that there's much to gain from parleying with her? She wants the mask. She wants to go in. She wants to release Karos and destroy whatever's on the other side.
What
Possibly
mask?
destroying everything. There's a mask and a tool she wants, and we're trying to prevent her from getting them.
Yes.
Those artisans are working on the tool, and they're trying to locate the mask.
Yeah, they got a crazy scheme to unlock a dead god and take over the world. That's what I think is happening.
I don't really see how we could parlay with something like that.
I mean, even if we managed to parlay, I'm not sure we could. I mean, it's like the succubus all over again.
Let me ask you this: if we found the mask, Malkant, and that's what she wants, what would you ask in return for that? What would you be willing to give up to give them the mask if we found it?
I honestly believe that we can negotiate a way to get what we need done out of the city. We can talk to her. She has doubt, or she did 6 months ago.
I don't.
I don't think. The fact
I
that
mean, just.
What I'm saying is,
but she's
what-
not the one pulling the most of the string.
we don't know who's pulling the strings. We don't. Obviously, it could be Karos directly. It could be her
She's an
god.
instrument, like any other.
But
I
we
don't
are
think
all
it's
it.
cutting off the head, even if we just kill her. I don't think that's cutting the head off.
Malkant,
Well,
are you an instrument for your god?
Yeah.
And if you did something evil, would you think that it's, you're just an instrument and you shouldn't be held accountable for your actions? If you did something evil in the name of your god, would you be held accountable for your actions, or would that be on your god?
Scott, what does my faith believe?
That's an interesting question. There is
If
you do believe in personal responsibility, but if Akor asked you to do something, I think you'd have to make a judgment call on.
So Akar would expect my personal responsibility as opposed to devotion to him.
No, you would. Akor wouldn't ask you to do that. You don't believe that would happen.
You're speaking nonsense.
No.
well, let me interject for a second, just so I can have clarification. Markant, do you want to talk to her to get information, or do you want to talk to her because of the moral appeal of sparing someone?
I don't think those are mutually exclusive. I feel that we can talk to her, we can find out more of what's going on, and perhaps we can neutralize this before it's continuing. She does not want to be the diva of a demon. That's not what she wants. She wants to return to the Celestial Kingdom. Perhaps we
Well,
can convince her that.
How
taking
do
the
we
other side is
neutralize
better.
this person?
You know what's more dangerous than somebody who is committed? Somebody who is twisted in their thoughts. It's hard to untwist those. I don't see how we can break that. I mean, if you have a plan that is going to work to convince this fallen David that she's working for a demon, and that's not her way to grace, and you know it's going to work, I'm all for it. But, okay, go back to my last question, not you. If another follower of another god that you met came in the name of their god, chose to murder everybody in your soul, do you think that they should be held accountable for those actions, or would you let them go because they were just an instrument of their god?
Acting as an instrument of their god, then it's their god I have an issue with.
And you just let them walk away?
If they no longer pose a threat, I don't see any reason to go after them.
If they're alive and they did that to your soul, what's to stop them from doing it to another soul or another person? People have to be held accountable for their actions, whether they do it in the name of their gods or not. That's why there are laws.
Well, you want to hold her accountable for her actions? Does that mean she has to die, or can we do it? Can we neutralize her in some other way?
By the laws, usually when people kill people and do this type of corruption and take over, usurping a throne, the law states that it is death that shall fall upon them, not mercy and letting them go, and maybe they'll change.
Well, I'm not saying we need to let her go. I mean, maybe we just... The thing is that, you know, isn't it going to look real? I mean, here's one of the problems with this is that if we go around killing the usurper, don't we just look like her?
Dwayne, we spoke last night. I was very candid with, or very open with my opinion of my brother. My brother will see the gallows for his actions, whether he was her tool or not.
Yeah.
He will die. And if my own brother will be dead for killing all those people that have stood up for this island, who have done so much for separating these families, for all the chaos that he's caused, for the death of my brother, he will suffer. Talbamise, who has led him down that path, no matter if it's for her god or not, will die as well. There is no other choice for me in this matter. They must suffer for their choices, for all the suffering that they have brought to others. I'm not looking, it's not vengeance for me. They must pay for their actions, period. There is no other option for me in this course.
There's no demon that I know of that should walk unscathed after the atrocities that have been done here to Elixia, Awok says.
For some reason, we think demons here are above their own, choices. I don't know why, but I do not. And while I do not want to harm the gods or civilians or those that have been led astray by those who have lied, I fully intend to fight till I die against Talbamise and Aelin. And I will die willingly if I have to, but they will go with me.
Don't go that far, Awok. Or Awok says. Don't go that far, Vesrin. Let's try and resolve this without us dying, and try not to kill any of them except maybe Talbamise.
No, Aelin will go as well.
Because she is a demon, after all, is she not?
No, she's not.
As far as she's a fallen deva, which she's summoning demons, which probably means she's been corrupted to the point where she is a demon herself. I mean, devas aren't really able to summon demons. Demons are able to summon demons. She may have once been a deva, but I don't think she is now. Vezrin does not think she is. She's feeding blood to her other people. She's taking souls. That's all demon type activity. So Vezrin's like, nah, this woman's a demon. Whether by what she is now or by choice, she is a demon. She's willing to do anything to return to her status. That is not something a celestial creature should be doing.
Maybe she doesn't understand what she is, or maybe she thinks that or believes that what she's doing is for her god, and that it would be acceptable to do those things for Kairos if that would rise her back into the ranks of the devas, of the celestials.
I'm not doubting that's what she thinks. What I'm saying is it doesn't make it okay, and she does not get to live for those choices, in my opinion.
I agree. I don't think she should live from that after what she's done here. She's committed atrocities that I never imagined could happen on Elixia, and is continuing them.
Another Alexian faith-based question, Scott.
Okay.
As a faithful, would I believe the Celestials are held to the law of man? Would that be part of my teaching, or would I assume that their status is greater than that of, and by man I mean humanoid creatures, of course, greater than the status of humanoids, or would I think of them being on an equal ground?
Well, you've never heard
Alright,
of
question.
you don't believe that there is a celestial that commits evil, and if they do commit evil, when they fall, they become demons or devils or something like that. That evil intrudes upon them and changes them from what they are to what they become. And when they do that, they lose their celestial status. Just like humans and elves can commit their souls to evil and they go to hell, so would a celestial that commits atrocious acts.
But I don't know. I think my question is kind of, would I feel they'd be upholding to the law of man, or would that be a transgression against God, and it would be the gods to decide?
Most of the laws of men are based upon the laws of the gods.
Okay.
What about if they're doing harm to men? It's one thing if they're meddling with other gods and other celestials, but now they're down here fucking with our people.
Well, that would become the philosophical question between us. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of where more camp would go with this, and if it would be the new conflict between me and you.
Akor is not against conflict with other gods. He's been involved in wars with the other gods, and he picked sides. And he had allies.
I think I know the stance more camp will take.
Okay.
No offense, Vezrin, but it only the gods such as Akor can decide what to do with her. What will happen to her is up to the soul, not to you.
Well, you have to kill me to stop me from killing her. So you either choose to take down a greater evil, or you will have to fight me in the end as well, because I am not letting her walk away after what she's done to the people here. I'm not. I refuse to let her walk away. I refuse to let her... You sit there and say that it's up to the gods. How do you know that we weren't put here to be the ones... How do you know Akor hasn't brought us together? He put you on this path to stop her. How do you know you're not the one that's do it for your God? I'm pretty sure God doesn't want this happening to the people here. And we're probably the ones that were decided upon to deal with it. Do you not see yourself as anything other than just a tool? Do you not see yourself as something to make change?
I can make change, but I can't become her in trying to stop her.
There's a difference.
With the Apanya.
There's a difference. We're not using other people and twisting their thoughts and trying to kill them and corrupt them and steal their souls. We are ending the being that is doing that. We're not doing it for our own personal greedy wants and desires. We're doing it to protect the people here. There's a difference between killing for personal gain.
I feel like this is incredibly personal to you right now. We both know that it is.
It is personal because the people on this island have been harmed. My family has been corrupted. My brother was killed. My youngest brother is part of the reason why my brother and family have been corrupted. It is personal, but it should be personal for you. All the people in that town that you've grown up knowing are living in fear, being hung for having an opinion, because that woman decided, because she wants a masculine truth, that it's more important than the people in that city. And you want to sit there and parlay with her and give her a chance to change her ways. No, she must die. You will not convince me otherwise. and I may not convince you otherwise.
If you give them no chance to talk, then you're just as bad and I'll have no part of it.
We gave her a chance to talk, and all she did was, you didn't even trust what she said to you. You spoke with her at the stones, and you didn't take anything that she said to you and believe it. She wasn't there to make amends or make things right. She was there for what she wanted, greed. That's the only reason why she spoke with us before. She will not change. If in 6 months after speaking to us and summoning demons to fight for her, she has only made things worse on this island. What do you think is going to happen with a second talk? Another one of my family members, you, Dwin, Eslo, dead at her feet when she gets mad and flies in the sky and shoots them with an arrow? A poisoned arrow? What do you think is going to happen? You need to understand that I'm all for saving lives, but at some point you have to be willing to take it to protect others, or you're only going to get more people killed. And I'd rather not be somebody dead because you want to make peace with a demon.
Listen, for all the people who your family has killed to protect people from killing people, it's a bit hypocritical. There should be a chance for us to talk.
Scott, has my family gone around killing people or just like taxing the hell out of people they didn't like?
Real quick, the gentleman whose daughter was ascended, he literally stood in the spot attacking people coming in.
There's like weird.
He what?
We're also your own men.
There's like a
So you're a hired killer. That is definitely for sure.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you saying?
those things.
Dylan, can you mute yourself real quick?
So, the elite guards were killed on their way into Phelan earlier by a person who your family hired, not sure who he was supposed to attack and kill people.
That wasn't my family though. That was him making a bad decision.
He killed a lot of people, and it started off in the name of your family. So he's obviously been a.
It wasn't in the name of the family. It wasn't in the name of the family. He was working with us. He was trying to protect us, and he thought they were coming to kill us.
Is this part of the argument happening in character or not?
This is out. This is out.
It's out of character.
Well, I know. I'm just saying maybe it should be in character.
No. I wanted to make sure we knew what we were talking about beforehand because
if we start arguing outside, then we're not arguing about D&D anymore. We're just talking philosophy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And Awok chimes in. He goes, if we don't remove Talvames from the equation, nothing is going to change. She will continue until she gets the tools that she is trying to get. I don't even think she concerns herself with the lives of the people around her. She's shown that she doesn't value them except as bodies to protect herself. Not even the noble families. She doesn't care about them. She was willing to kill one to remove it from the equation and then marry the next.
If this was just a woman who was looking for power only to upgrade her status, I would be fine for imprisoning her. This isn't about what happened to my family. Yes, it's personal because it happened, but it's not just my family, it's everybody on this island. And if you truly believe that it is something that we can change her with our words, I'm more concerned about what's going to happen to you in that fight. You need to be ready, Morkant, because she will be, and she will not hesitate to kill you when you're trying to tell her that we can change and help her. She will use that moment to slaughter you.
Morkant will be ready. He's prepared to fight when he needs. He just loves to get into the philosophical questions that every cleric gets into.
Well, I'm making it known. I will kill her if I get the chance.
That being said, what do we do with the prisoners you have here? I can keep them.
I definitely can't survive in the woods.
L-
We
Lacerta,
could keep them and give them jobs in the camp.
Lacerta, if you go back to the city, and they see that you've discovered any information about this, they will kill you. They will kill these men that are with you. Now, that's what I'm telling you.
They would kill the men. I'm not sure they would kill me. They would want to know what I've learned.
They will kill you once they know what you've learned, because now you're a loose end. Now, perhaps I'm wrong, and perhaps everything I'm telling you is a lie. Do you wish to go back to the city and try your luck there, or would you rather stay here until this is over? Your choice.
I was brought here to do a job, but from what I'm seeing, I'm very torn on what I should be doing here. I have been hired to do a job in the city, and I should complete that task, which is to prepare the guards to become more like soldiers. And they would definitely question me, and I would tell them what I know, which is all I know how to do.
Were you given a reason why they were to be prepared to be soldiers instead of just guards?
Because they're indisciplined. They're allowing they were allowing too many freedoms and not fulfilling their orders and obligations.
That's what they're told you.
That's what I was told, which is why, and in the span of half a day, I could agree that they were indisciplined. Their organization was poor. Their understanding of their assignments was bad. The assignments were not clear. So all of those are true. But there's more to it than that, because it seems like there's a moral dilemma on the island that I was not made aware of.
That's an understatement. Yeah. As you can see, there's a bit of a moral dilemma.
But I can also see from here that there's quite a bit of conflict even within your resistance. And I don't know where that will lead you, so
Pick a side.
Well, I will say this, whether me and Morkant agree on sparing her, speaking to her or not, we do agree that she needs to be removed from her position of power. That be true, Morkant? Do we agree on that?
Yes, her plan needs to be stopped one way or another. I just want to give her the chance. I don't know what's happened these last 6 months, and I'm not here to assume she's just gotten worse. And I'm also not assuming that she's the head of this. I don't know that she's controlling your brother, or they're both being controlled by the same person. I don't know or if your brother's controlling her. I don't have any of this information. We're working off assumptions.
Well, what do we want to do now?
Well, we were still waiting on Lacerta. I just wanted to know that, yes, there may be disagreements on how to handle it, but the overall arcing decision is still the same within the resistance.
We're unified in that sense.
I should go back to the city and confront those who brought me in and find out what their intentions were and if they're on moral ground or not. I'm only getting the word from you that they're not.
Would you like us to be near in case someone needs to pull you out of that situation?
It's a weird roll. It's not the dice it's not the die though that's in jail right now. Thank God. if you would like to go into the city, I could go and confront them and be prepared either way to leave or stay. I can tell you that if they asked me whether you were in the city, I would tell them you were in the city and who was in the city. So it's probably in your best interest not to go in at the same time as I go in and with me.
I'm just saying that you going in might not be the best thing for you in general, and if you need to be rescued.
We're just concerned for your own safety. We've seen what they do to people that don't agree with them.
I've been hired to complete a task. I've been hired to complete a task, and I'm not someone who doesn't fulfill my obligations when I've been paid or brought in for something. It seems I need to know that what you're saying is true from them. How am I to know?
What about you other four? If you go back...
We'll stay. All of them.
Okay. Welcome to the resistance.
Wait, what? I thought they were going to have us just work in the camp.
Oh, well, I mean, that's still part of it.
Still,
You need camp setter-uppers in a resistance.
If you don't wish to raise arms against the others, you will not be forced to. Is that correct, Awok? Do I have your word that if these four do not wish to raise arms against others, that they do not have to? Well,
they do have to earn their keep.
No, help out around the camp, do what they can, but if they...
If we're attacked, they have to take arms against those attacking us.
To defend themselves, but not be forced into battle. You will not use them to go onto missions to harm people inside the city, yes?
I will not. Because you're requesting it.
Is there any possibility we could just send them home?
I would say at this time it'd be dangerous. If they return home from their post...
The guards in the city they were in would arrest them for sure.
Ah, that's true.
They should wait. They should wait out the
laws.
Yes, and their family. They should wait it out away from harm, and that would be to stay in the camp.
Is there any way, if they're asked about, you can claim that they're dead?
For their own safety.
If I were to kill them, I could claim that. I could say that they have been captured. They've been captured.
That's technically true.
What Awok is asking is not unreasonable for someone who has been captured.
My concern is for the safety of their families.
Well, if they've been captured, the families should be safe. Hopefully.
If they were seen taking arms up against, their families would not necessarily be safe. But if they're not, like they're saying they don't wish to do, then I don't know what their families would be under the same level of threat. In a conflict like this, you can't put everybody under the sword, or there's nobody left.
That's the problem.
That's if they're planning on sustaining this for a long period of time. She only has the short objective. You don't need to keep people forever.
Yes.
Then return them as prisoners. Hand them over.
Send him back in his pals.
They're dead like the other two. The two bodies that we took.
They will stay as prisoners here with Awok in the camp, and we will hope that that'll be enough to protect their families. No other option is going to give them the best chance. If we return them, they will learn what they know, and they will kill them for knowing it. If we send them to their homes, the gods they will take them, and them and their families might be put to the death. But if they are seen as prisoners being held by the camp, their families will hopefully be safe.
I think it's the best option, given what's on the table.
I want to get them home to the families. I only hope that this is what gets them there.
We could put them into the resistances near their homes rather than go to their home. They could go to the resistance nearest where they live.
Perhaps find a way to check on their families.
Perhaps there are people getting information in and out a little bit, so it is possible to find out.
I think that would be best if we can get them there.
They're more likely to want to protect their own town.
Yes. Does that work for you, gentlemen? We get you as close to your homes. You work out of those places, doing as you asked, operating under the skies of not having to take up arms against those you love.
And they all are in agreement. Yes, yes. We'd like to be near our families in case.
Awok, the request that I ask you for these men, I hope when you send them to the other camps, that respect is passed on to the leaderships there as well.
My suspicion is that when they see what is happening, that they will change their mind about what the resistance is, and they will realize they were on the wrong side in the first place. So
that is fine.
I'm less concerned.
But if they don't, please see that my request is passed on to them.
So then I will continue on to the camp with the guards and the captured guards. And I do think it would be good to have, if you don't mind, Magpie, you could be the scout for us getting back. It is turning into evening, and I would like to free you, the rest of you, up to continue with your activities.
Say we camp here for the night, yes? It's dark time at this time, yeah?
It's dark.
I don't know. That rock is awfully distinctive. Other people may come this way. Place for a camp.
This is true. It's a very distinctive rock. It's
I told you it was distinctive.
It's even known in the Blue Waste.
Yeah. Legends of this rock's distinction.
Yeah, Eslo, what did they tell you about this rock?
Nothing except that it's distinct.
The distinct rock of the Elixian woods. We found it.
So you all get some rest, and let's take a break real quick. Be right back, everybody.
Ooh, Brandon.
I'm gonna move my
person. So like she's just been like, this here's a fire, there's a fire, lots of fires, and it just
Fire everywhere.
yeah. I don't. I've thought about that too, about like how I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't like had.
I'm
the
going
only
live. You can
person-
keep talking. I'm going live, though. You can keep talking.
Yeah, the only person that she's really talked to is Vezrin, and I'm like, oh, I should probably like have her talk to other people just to build bonds within the party. It's just plot.
Yeah.
So there's lots of plot.
And welcome back, everybody. We're still having philosophy conversations.
Well, we put it on pause, but we've
We
about
have.
talking about philosophy.
Which is actually how most philosophy conversations go. You talk about talking about it. So you rest through the night, I assume, or are you doing anything else during the night?
Perhaps when everybody's asleep during Eslov's shift. Are you taking first shift, Eslov?
Sure.
Well, before I lay down during his, I will talk to him once everybody else is asleep. So, Eslov, I notice when things got heated between myself and Morkant, you were quiet.
He chuckled. Well, I mean, you didn't exactly give any opening to speak.
I do apologize. I do apologize. As you can see, I'm very passionate about protecting the people here.
I know.
But where do you stand? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts on what? Peaceful thing.
On Talbamis, Aelin, how we should deal with them?
Do what has to be done.
Well, I know what I believe what must have to be done, and I know that Morkant feels that what must be done is different. So,
I know.
in your opinion, what does that entail?
We'll see. That's how you're getting them.
I guess what I'm asking is, if it comes down to it, and Talbamis is coming for our lives, and I'm trying to end hers, and Morkant's trying to talk her ear off, where does your axe lie?
You say that one more time. Sorry.
I said, I guess what I'm asking you is, when the time comes, and Morkant's trying to talk off Talbamis' ear, and she's trying to rip us into pieces, where does your axe lie?
We'll see whether or not she tries to rip us into pieces.
She's going to, because I'm not going to give another option. And I will turn and I will go to bed. Well, I'll go sit in my trance.
And
like
when you
the elves
turn
do.
to go to bed, you realize Lacerda was laying down but awake.
I don't care if he hears it.
Okay.
What are the stars telling me?
I want to do something. Can I do my thing now, or somebody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, she's gonna wait until she's pretty sure Vezran's out. She's gonna go to the Morkan. She's gonna wake him up.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to Talbamis?
Yes, I do. I think that's the best course.
Well, I think she just needs to be taken out of power. I don't really care if she, as long as she can't hurt anyone, I don't care. I do care if Vezran kills her, because then the whole city, the whole island's just gonna look at him and say, "Oh, you're the villain that Aelin painted you to be." So Vezran will be super mad. But do you want to leave in the middle of the night and try to talk to her?
Might be our only opportunity. And I'll kind of look down at the scar on my hand and then start collecting my things.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Thank you.
You guys are doing this during Eslov's shift?
Yeah, am I still awake for this?
High five Eslov on the way out of town. Sorry to give you double shift. Are we going to sneak past Eslov? Is that our plan, or are we going to let him know what we're doing?
I think we should tell Islov. I don't think he'd stop us.
No, I don't think he would. Should we
Rolls
should we
with
take
Hell.
Lacerda with us to get us into the or to get the message to her?
Sorry, you broke out just a second. What was that?
Should we ask Lacerda if he'd like to come with us so he can relay the message that we wish to talk with her?
Yeah, I think that'll be wise.
Okay, well, let's go ask him if he's willing to do this for us.
Okay. And he is laying down, but not sleeping.
Lacerda, can we ask a favor of you?
Yes?
I would like to speak with Talon. Could you, if we went back now, we snuck out of the camp, could you go in there and let her know that I wish to parlay? In a peaceful manner.
I could do that.
If you don't mind coming with us now, we'll travel by night. Eslov, let Vezra know that we're doing what we believe is best. I don't want to leave him out here by himself. Sorry, we can't ask you to come with.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I know he's gonna be mad, but
I really feel there aren't many good ideas left, so we just may have to make do with the ideas we have.
I think it's an even worse idea to not bring me in.
I agree. If I could bring you and not leave Vezrin here by himself, I would, but someone has to protect Vezrin.
I think Desmond can protect the Desmond.
Question.
care to
Just
live
out of
with us?
curiosity, with them having this talk, any chance that I hear any of this?
Maybe.
I'm asking him. I'm asking.
We would have walked a little bit away from
They're
where
quiet.
I think we should give him a chance. I think this is interesting. Out of character, I want to give him a chance.
Okay,
Especially if you guys are all going to leave my ass out in the middle of the woods asleep.
well, you're not alone. There are other people with you, but
No, I think we left everybody. We just went with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's just the four of you. So you'd have to make a stealth check, the three of you.
on how
You
quiet
can do it as right.
Now, here's the question. I probably did not put my armor on yet, so I do not have disadvantage, right?
Correct. If you don't have your armor on.
Put my armor on as we walk. I don't know.
Would his passive perception be the same even though he's sleeping? Or in a trance, I suppose?
And we.
Yeah.
yes. That's a
Oh, my modifier
that's an
for this.
18.
A 9.
5.
Vesser, make a perception check.
I'm going to do it at disadvantage because
You're at disadvantage. Because you're in a
perception
trance.
is +3. I'm rolling it right here because I want you guys to see what it is. So I rolled. Can you see it?
Is that a
Roll.
4?
No, it's
17. No.
a 17 and a 13.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So +3. So 16 total.
Something stirs you.
At what point? What's the first thing he hears?
Well, let's go back to what you guys are doing. So you walk away, you have a little conversation with Eslov, and then what?
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said right before. Morgan wanted to roll Brandon.
The
After I
last thing.
said, I think Vezrin can protect Vezrin.
Yeah, that's the last thing you guys had said.
Oh, I said, well, if you really think that's best.
I do. I think it's if the two of you go and your plan does not succeed, you know what's going to happen to you.
We hightail
Right.
it into the woods.
And that's why Vezrin will need you.
What? What'd you say?
And that's why Vezrin would need you.
I think you need us. I think you need me more. From what I've seen, these woods aren't as dangerous as the people say. Vezrin is smart. He's crafty. He can manage anything this wood throws at him. But Callan, she's something else.
Well, let's get going before he hears us.
You Vezrin.
Ezra makes no indication that he hears you.
So you gather your stuff.
You go to fuck me, you're gonna you're gonna like what happens.
So you gather your stuff and you head towards the city. And Vezrin, there seems to be more silence than you're used to when you're sleeping, when you're in a trance. And it kind of stirs you out of your trance, the sudden silence.
I wake up and I can
And
tell
you're-
they're gone. I immediately grab my stuff and I start heading towards the city.
Okay.
But I want to try to catch up to them and follow them at a distance.
Okay. Are you stealthy?
Yes, I'm stealthy. I'm the stealthiest one in the group, I believe.
Okay.
Well, do we get perception checks, or are we just doing passive perception?
So, yeah, you can. You'll get a perception check, but not yet because you have a little bit of a head start. There's nothing. He didn't hear you. He heard the lack of you.
Right.
And
Through the course of what rest we got, plus the casual walk to town, is this going to be considered a rest for everybody? Or no?
I mean, we're already rested, technically.
you were already rested before. Yeah, you had already
that's
gotten
right.
rest the night before. So
Okay.
it was just bonus rest.
I didn't reset that. Okay. No.
And as the sun starts coming up, you get to the point where you can see the tunnels ahead of you. The tunnel.
Now, before we go further,
You can make me a perception check.
I'd imagine we're not going to the tunnel, though. I'd imagine we're going somewhere not far from the front gate. And
Oh,
let
okay.
him go to the front gate.
Yeah.
that's a
Okay.
16 plus 5, 21.
Okay.
Ooh.
18.
A perception. It's a 25.
Damn.
Ooh.
You
You are
guys
perceptive.
all killed that one. You feel like you're being watched as you get to the city edge.
Doesn't feel right.
And from up on the wall, you see some commotion, some motion going on. And guards.
All right. Good luck.
And a guard outside the city comes to out a little bit from the wall and stops you.
I'd imagine we wouldn't be within a range of the wall. We would have sent Lacerda.
Oh, just
Yeah.
Lacerda. Okay.
But Dwayne would still be in the woods.
All right. So Lacerda goes by himself.
I will give him a pat on the shoulder as he goes. Make the right choice.
I'd wish him luck and give him a little guidance.
thought you were going to say get well with this.
Thank you, Eslov. You've all acted honorably. And he heads to the wall to meet the guard. And after, it takes probably 20 minutes before he's allowed into the gate. Somebody yells something up, and there's some more time passes. Eventually the gate lifts, or the doors open, I mean, and he's escorted in by the guard, and the doors close.
I'm going to look around to see who's watching this or try and figure it out.
Well, you know that there's at least people on the wall that are looking around out here. They don't necessarily see you necessarily. But you do feel you're being watched. Can you make me a stealth check, Vestrin?
Natural 17 plus 3 is 20.
Okay.
I did have a 21.
I had
You
a
did.
25.
Yeah. So you get a feeling that you've been followed. And you're pretty sure you know who. You don't know exactly where they are, but
I don't think. I'm gonna whisper to Eslov. I think he followed us. I'm gonna whisper to Markant. Pretty sure he followed us.
Does seem like something he would do.
The whole time, Vezran's just in the woods seething.
Firebolt from the woods.
yes.
No,
You're
you know what?
so-
He's always been honest with every one of you, and this feels like a betrayal of honesty. They didn't even talk to him. They just said, we're leaving without him. So he's very upset with all three of them. No trust in him. He trusted them, but no trust in him. So yeah, that's how he feels. He's pissed right now.
So you're out
Not a
here.
Climactic episode.
So much personal stuff going on in here. And it's totally not the episode I thought it was going to become.
It never is.
Sorry,
Never.
Scott.
Alright, Agent of
The-
Chaos!
The first rule of DMing, Scott, that's the first rule.
I know, it's just funny.
Always expect the unexpected.
Yeah. After several
Did we see
hours,
that?
you didn't see him.
I'll be looking for him. Might like to be searching.
Are you staying where you are to look, or are you moving around? How are you looking?
I'm not gonna, I don't want to get seen, but I will be keeping an eye out for him.
Yeah. You don't see him. And after a couple of hours, the gates open. And a person comes out with a flag. It's a green flag, and he plants it outside the door. And he
At
goes
this
in.
point, I'll stand up and I'll turn towards the widows. Are you coming? There's no answer to that. Well, I guess
No
we'll-
answer, no movement, nothing.
It's just like his brother.
Hey, y'all are the ones who betrayed him. He didn't betray you.
Let's see if we can end this, and I'll start. I'm going to say my armor's just off at this point. I don't have my armor on. I don't have a weapon with me. I'm just going to walk up to the flag unarmed completely.
Okay. And
Dumbass thing. We're all gonna die right now.
and
Yep,
the,
campaign's over!
And Scott,
You
just
guys
so you
don't have to
know,
walk with me to the flag. I can go by myself.
Scott, just so you know, I have a chromatic orb at 2nd level ready to go as soon as I feel shit's not working.
Okay. When you so how are the three of you? What are you doing? The three of you.
I have my axe and cans ready.
If you're okay. Are you all going up to the flag? Or are you all staying back here?
I will follow more cans.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow Morkant too. Just, I mean, she's there as more of a buffer against. She's there more to protect Morkant than anything. So.
Okay. So when you get up to the flag area, you can see that there are guards up at the top of the wall that are looking down. And 15 minutes after the gates open, or the doors open, and a small entourage of guards that look different than the guards you'd seen before. They have arm greaves, and they have actual armor, some metal, some leather. On the top point of the shoulder up here, there's a vine symbol that has been hammered into the metal shoulder plate. They come out. They walk very like they walk in step, and when they come out, they kind of walk out and then line up against the wall and wait. And you see from behind them one other guard that you don't recognize, who's fully armored, and a woman that has the face of Morkant's mother. And the first person, the person in front of her, steps forward and looks over everyone. I am Haslet Lawford. I am the Reeve of Phelan. You come to speak.
Not with you.
Who will speak?
Palamies, it's been a long time.
Talvames, Morkant will represent them. And she stays behind him, and the guards stay where they are. Make me a perception check. All three of you.
Can I make one from the woods?
You're too far to hear this.
Oh,
14.
22.
8.
Yeah, the city seems very quiet compared to what, like, you don't hear the hustle and bustle of the city. By the way, it's also raining still. But you do hear the sound, like, echoing through the city of king, king, king. Just, that's like the only sound you really hear coming from inside.
I'm going to lean over to Morgan. Ask them where the Dragonborn is.
Palamies, what have you done with your new general?
The Dragonborn?
Yeah.
He's no general. He was hired to do a task, and he will complete the task.
So he's still well done?
Yes, he said you treated him honorably, and you did not commit any harms upon him.
Of course not. You know me better than that. Now,
Why are you here?
I'm here to speak with you. I've lost some time, and I want to figure out what's going on and why my city's under siege.
Well, you have made two mistaken assumptions there. First, it is not your city, and second, it is not under siege. It is under protection from you,
For me,
from all of you.
All of us.
I must be quite powerful to be able to threaten the city in this way. But
Indeed.
tell me, there's a story of Akor, and I go through the story that I read in the dream world that had to do with the deceiver demon
Okay.
to her. And are you familiar with that one? Do you have any insight as a celestial?
I do not know that story. Why do you bring up stories? Shouldn't we be talking about your surrender?
Well, I am not surrendering.
This is no surrender.
This is a parlay, as we have done before. I don't wish for there to be any bloodshed here. I do not want to see the people of my city suffer at all.
They're not suffering.
And yet
They are.
some are already dead.
Most of them are just staying in their homes now.
I buried 2 of them myself.
The mere
Those
crime
we
of
spoke to.
talking to us.
I'm not sure what you think you're going to get from this parlay. Do you think that I will just walk away and say, the city is yours, Morkant, you may have it back?
That is my hope and my intention.
You can't seriously think that coming here with that intention was going to result in what you expect.
I think through Akor, many things are possible.
More things are possible through Karos.
Like calling for demons instead of your sisters.
It was a mistake. I am working on correcting that.
Well, it's kind of hard when you're dealing with a trickster demon instead of a god. They have no access to the celestial.
Karos is no demon. Karos is a god.
And yet she gave you demons. Or he. She.
I've not completed my task. I've not earned my way back to the upper planes. I'm on my way.
Even if Karos was a god, which Karos is not, Karos is the trickster from that story.
Wait, where is Vestrin? Has he passed?
He's not here.
He was having a stomach ache and decided to stay home for this one.
And she looks at the other guards and doesn't say anything. And you can tell they're looking around now.
Like that.
Why would you side with the god who has no power, is not in celestial, and hasn't been relevant, as opposed to asking someone like Akor? Through the soul, we can give you true salvation.
It goes back to Akor.
You're trying to convert me to Akor?
Who did you serve before you fell?
I find it
Sorry,
very
God, you didn't have that prepared.
I find it very amusing that you've come here with the intention of converting me to a lesser deity under the auspices of helping a city that's not under siege and in which you are a criminal.
I am no criminal. We both know this. I mean, you were there.
I'll tell you what. I will make you not a criminal if you give me the mask that you have or know where it is.
I don't know what mask you're talking about. And besides, making me not a criminal isn't a thing if I'm already not a criminal.
So we know that somehow you've been getting into the city, and it won't be long before we figure out how, and that will be
I
shut
can
off.
walk in- This is my city. I can walk into it whenever I want. There's nothing stopping me. There's no way for you to stop me. You see, I'm here with no weapon, no armor, standing freely because I follow Akor. You must be surrounded to secure your defeat by following a trickster demon. Do you not see the error in your path? I am here to show you the light and to return you to the Celestial. Who did you serve before you fell?
And she leans over to the Reeve and whispers something into his ear.
Can I try to hear it?
You can try. I'll give you a try. You've got those big ears.
Would you give me a try?
Sure,
Eh.
you're close.
That's a perception?
Yep.
That's a 13.
It's a 24.
Oh, nice.
You hear her whisper something about Bowman and Wall or something like that.
Here to speak up, Talon. You're going to attack us. Please do it honorably. Tell us what you're going to do.
Come on. We've come here for a peaceful parley as we have in the past.
So I should make lemonade and we can enjoy the rain.
Yes.
It won't matter soon enough. You will be captured or killed. I will have what I'm working on.
You have nothing you're working on. You're following a trickster with no purpose, no goal. I stand with Akor. There's nothing you can do to me.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you come into the city with me. The rest of them have to stay out, and we'll go see your Apania.
No deal.
They can come with me.
No, they're not coming into the city. Especially the Dragonborn, who isn't even of this island.
What makes me not of this island?
You're from
Is it
the
not
wastes.
the land of the island that I walk on right now? The whom am I
Akor,
illegitimate?
Esloff belongs to this island more than you do, Talon, and we both know that.
I'm the Viscountess.
No, the Viscount is in the Great North. Or the Blue Waste. So how could you be the Viscountess? For marrying one of his sons? That makes no sense.
From marrying the Viscount. It makes all the sense in the
Viscount
world.
is in the Blue Waste.
He is not the Viscount. He is the Earl. In his stead, the Viscount is in charge.
That mean not understanding how your world works. My apologies.
No, Earl. A Viscount is actually a ceremonial title, kind of like a prince to a king. So a Viscount would be to an Earl like a son of an Earl, or a Viscountess
Sorry,
would be a daughter of.
understanding.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should have explained that earlier.
No, my apologies. Something I probably should have known. Telemes, this is really your last chance at salvation. You remember what happened last time we met?
When I complete my tasks, I will achieve my salvation, and I will rise to the stature.
And the only way for salvation is through Akor. You follow a trickster demon you've been fooled, and as long as that is, that's what it will be. And then I will put my back and begin walking away.
And the gates open, and she and the Reeve head in, and the soldiers go in behind her.
I just stand there and look at Carrot.
Make me a perception check, Eslov and Caradwin.
I'll call out to Talon. Talon. One question.
She stops at the door as others continue in.
23 stuff.
Okay.
Why did you kill him?
He was no longer of use. I could go the other route with whom I had. He was weakening in his resolve.
Spoken like a true Deva.
And my perception is 26.
The two of you see there are people starting to line up along the wall with bows.
I'm
And
gonna
she
stand
goes
in
in.
front of Morgans as he walks.
We'll just walk out.
And when the doors close, arrows start to fly.
Go to the woods.
Let me take a few pop shots. Ooh. What are your ACs?
14.
I don't want to talk about it.
What'd you say, Dylan? What was yours?
14.
Wait,
13.
do I have the highest armor class in the group?
The mage.
I keep trying to get armor, but we just keep going places where I can't find purple.
I mean, I know when Morkant wears his armor, it's probably higher than mine. But I'm saying, like, right now, does the wizard have the highest armor class?
Yeah, I'm a barbarian. What do you expect?
My armor, Scott.
What's yours, Morkant?
10.
Okay. And yours, Caradwin?
Wolf.
Damn.
I have
Wow.
a 16 flat without my shield. It's because of mage armor, but I have permanent mage armor.
Wow. The arrows just start raining down. I mean, I wouldn't say raining down. Not that many bowmen. But each of you gets hit.
Ouch.
Fuck. I didn't expect...
Vezrin doesn't even throw the orb; he just watches.
Wow.
It's just like, all right.
Caradwin, you take 6 points. Morkant, you take 8 points. And Eslov, you take 6. And the arrows come up from above pretty quickly, and you can just feel them pulling back the next round. What are you doing? Initiative.
Yeah,
We're just gonna run in the woods.
Okay.
I'll use all of my action.
Okay. That's probably a good
I will-
idea.
I will dash, and I will use my bonus action to cast give my bardic inspiration to Morkant, so he can use that to deflect some of the arrows, so he can go into his AC.
Okay. And just running gets you into the woods pretty quickly, and you're able to get where there are enough trees between you and them. But more arrows come down, and in behind you.
I fog cloud,
And
so
you,
they can't really aim as well.
all right. And you get into the woods. I mean, you're able to move and get quickly in there, and with the fog cloud, they can't see you anyway. Make me a perception check as you're running into the woods. Vesper, make me a stealth check.
I don't know that I run into the woods. I'll cast fog cloud and I'll kind of turn around and
19. And if I don't see Morkant running into the woods, I'm not going to run either.
because just on my next round I want to thaumaturgy and yell.
I got a 15 total.
I'm staying next to Morkant if I see him staying there.
Caradwin, as you're running, make me a perception check.
19.
Okay. You think that you see off to one side someone in purple vestments behind a tree.
She's just gonna like duck behind She's just gonna like duck behind another tree and say, "We know you followed us."
I don't care if you know I followed you.
Okay, fine.
And
I will stand in front as per Morgan if I see.
then the gates, well, you don't know, but the fog cloud suddenly goes up where you're at, Eslov, and you and Morkant are next to each other.
Towards the top of the wall. I wouldn't put it on us. I'd put it.
Oh, you want to? Okay, on them. All right. So
Assuming I could, yeah.
yeah, a minute or two later, the gate opens, and a bunch of soldiers come out.
Well, on my
In motion.
on my sector, on
Okay,
my
go on.
the next chance I get, I would thaumaturgy to make a loud voice to proclaim to those of you who are trapped in Phelan, don't worry, we're coming to set you free. Those of you who are forced to serve, know that we will protect your families in whichever city they come from. Now is the time to protect Elixia, not the time to follow these tyrants' rule. And then I'll turn around and start going into the forest.
Okay.
And I'll follow it.
And you get into the forest some, and then you hear people coming up from behind from the city. What are you doing once you're into the forest?
Run like hell!
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Moment to be cool is over.
Right.
Ezra will also run.
So Vesrin, are you running?
Angstily.
Are you running with and near them, or are you running far from
no.
them?
No, I'm running with them.
Okay. So you're running, and you hear the sounds of people coming out of the city and spreading out. Some, but in groups, and it seems like they're moving pretty quickly and looking for you.
Such a great idea. I think you guys had a smashing idea here. How's those
I
arrows
agree.
feeling?
You are what are your? I assume your speeds are just 30s. Does anybody have anything different?
I pull the arrow out of my own. I say, I've had worse.
Yeah, Karen Twin just pulls it out. She says, I don't regret it.
Yeah, let me pull the one out of my heart and the one in my back as well. And I just keep on running. Shut your mouth! You have betrayed our trust. I don't believe this. I don't believe your words right now. Just keep running. We'll talk later.
And
I
an
think we
arrow
run
goes,
forward.
and an arrow
Whatever's
goes
happening.
flying by, and another arrow goes flying by.
If I can see them, I will throw magic missiles at them. Not enough to like kill anybody, just spread out to hit them, to do some damage
Yeah.
to them, to make them second guess.
Yeah, you can see them. They're back. They're pretty far back behind, kind of out. You're at the limit of their range with their bows, but they're in groups of fours, and they're spreading out, kind of
Okay.
keeping
Well,
a
then I wouldn't be able to
grid
shoot.
of space.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to shoot because if they're beyond 120 feet, then I wouldn't be able to shoot.
Yeah, they're beyond.
Yeah.
But you can, I mean, going into the woods, you can lose them
Yeah.
because they're city folk. They're used to hanging out in the city, and they continue following or looking for you and moving as a group, and you keep moving and get out ahead of them, and you can make maneuvers to dodge and avoid them, and you get away. Now you can argue.
When we get to stop, Ezra doesn't say anything. He's already said what he wanted to say. He just walks and just sits away from the rest of them and starts drinking some water.
I think that went well.
I'm going to tend to my own wound. Also away, but not close to Bezrin.
Gwen's just gonna hang out by Morkant. Well, we have answers now. Do you want me Quallen's fighting her now?
Perhaps we've given her another way out. Hopefully. Can't say we didn't try.
Well, I mean, if now can we safely say you'll fight her? Or
She's not willing to listen, then they have no other choice. Can't leave her in this land. I made a promise. Look down at the scar on my hand.
you'll pay attention to that scar a lot. Do you want to share?
No, it's just the oath I made. You were there.
Was I? Oh, to Vezrin?
I made the oath to Jasmine as much as to Vezrin. So I had to kill her and regretted having to kill her.
Oh, yes. Well,
I don't want to have to kill anyone.
I don't either. But sometimes you have to fell the sick trees so the rest don't die. I know it's not exactly the same, but we gave her the chance to change. We extended mercy.
Eventually, you hear the sounds of the soldiers that are out there, or the guards that are out there trying to find you. They sort of fall off, and it sounds like maybe they went back to the city.
Sounds like they're giving up trees.
Well, shall we head back to the city and go kill her then?
Do you want to get your armor back?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and put it on first, and that takes like an hour.
So you get your you don your armor. Then what are you doing? Where are you going?
Well, let's go talk to the group.
You what?
Let's go talk to the others
About what?
about what we're doing next. Or do you think the two of us can take her down?
Oh, I thought they were still with us.
Yeah,
Oh, they're sitting away from us, that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's head back. I think now's the time. I think the soul's in danger, and if they're fighting the soul, they'll be distracted.
Okay. Garrett's gonna go to the other. She's gonna walk over to the other two. Well, we can all agree that she needs to die now.
What are you doing, Vesrin?
Are you with us?
Ezra's so upset he was dead.
It's not, my issue isn't with whether you talk to her or not. It's that you didn't trust me to tell me your plan, and you left me alone in the forest on my own. Because you valued talking to her more than trusting me, who stood by you through all of this, who took an oath with you, who told you your family, who's not treated you as an outsider. You guys left me as if I was nothing but a hindrance to your will. I've been nothing but honest with each and every one of you, and you've betrayed that trust.
Not over there, by the way.
I'm talking loud enough for you to hear.
I'm not listening. I'm paying attention to my wound. I don't even look.
It's fine. It's your choice.
Vezrin, that's not why we did that.
It doesn't
Desmond,
matter why
how
you
many
did it.
times-
Yes, it does. It does matter why we did it. We did it because Vezrin, stop and listen to me for 1 second. This is why I can't talk to you. This is why, because you don't listen to what we have to say. All you do is take your morals and shove them on us and act like they're not important. And then when you don't get your way, you gaslight us. So what are we to do? I'm doing this to protect you.
I don't need your protection.
Yes, you do.
No. I need
Because you
your
keep
trust.
acting like an idiot.
No, I have not done anything stupid. in my opinion, just as you've done nothing stupid in your opinion. And if you felt that I was doing those things, instead of yelling at me now after you've done this, why not talk to me then and tell me how you felt
Because you
before?
don't listen.
How do you know? Did you try?
Because
Did you?
I've tried.
You've told me that I do not listen before this. You told me that you felt like I was gaslighting you before this. Did I leave any of you in the woods alone? Oh, is she okay? Did she leave?
Oh,
Why you gotta upset everyone, Morgan? Come on.
This was such a good moment too.
I know. She fell
Vezran
out.
getting called out on his shit and feeling like he needs to call
Oh.
me out on it. What happened? No. I love that she said all that too. I was like, oh, come on, this is like perfect.
I don't think she's legitimately upset. I really
I don't think she
not.
was. I don't really think she was either. I hope not. Did she respond to anything?
I think we better call it off here.
Yeah.
In the mid conversation, no.
Hold on a second. Oh, she's coming
Okay.
back in a minute.
All right.
So she gets very angry and walks away for a moment and needs some air.
Yep. Let's take a break, and I'll see you guys all in a couple minutes.
Yeah, we can do that. And let her know.
We'll be right back in a minute, everybody. We're going to take a very short intermission.
All right.
Okay. So one thing.
call it a night here.
Is there not
Audi-
an issue?
Audio's back. No, I didn't turn the audio back on after we came back. My bad.
Oh,
It was a beautiful moment.
All right, run it back.
So,
Of course.
We'll never recapture it.
Dwayne, I know that I'm not easy to work with, as I was telling them. And I'm sure I do get in my own head. When you're raised in the family that I was raised in and told that you are worth nothing, that you have failed in all your duties, you strive to be better, hoping that they will see you for what you are, for what you want to be, and not what they think you are. And perhaps I let that bleed into this here. I mean, I'm not without fault. I've made bad decisions. I've made bad choices. So it's not that, I fault you for making a bad choice. I was only I wasn't even upset that you wouldn't talk to her. I was upset that you felt that you guys couldn't tell me that you were doing that. And it did hurt. But I do understand your reasoning or why you believe you had to do it. Doesn't make me feel better, but I don't hate you. I don't hate any of you. You guys have been by my side where my family would have left me in the dust.
She'll just hug Vezrin.
He'll hug her back, and he'll whisper, "Don't tell the others, but all of you are my family," which is why it hurt.
I know I don't make the best choices, Vezrin.
None of us do. If we're demon, we wouldn't be the ones trying to stop a demon.
But I worry for this. She puts her hand on over your heart. I worry for all this hate you have. Don't let it poison you.
I know it seems like hate, but it's not. Like Morkant, I believe this is the right way.
I'm not
It's
talking
not-
about towards us. I just want you to think about the weight of how your decisions affect you. She'll sort of I don't know, stroke his head, because you don't seem to make that into your accounts.
As a Madrick, I don't believe I have the choice to think about what they have on me. I have the lives of the people on this island, all of you, that I have to consider. And if it dooms my own heart, then to protect all of you, then so be it. Which is why I get passionate and stubborn. But I never meant to gaslight any of you or force you down a path that you were, or even not listen to you. It's not easy.
None of this is easy, that's for sure. Well, now that we're all in agreement and we have our consciences aside, do we want to kill this lady? Because it's gonna look really bad.
I don't think it will. I think once we deal with her, I think her true form will appear. And people will see that she wasn't what she claimed to be.
Okay.
She hides behind a mask.
Alright, well, next question is, how are we gonna get to her? She's in a fort.
You
We
also
make no she'll come out. I need to go
First
back.
of all, we need to make sure she doesn't leave the city.
She needs the city.
was there anything of note that happened in your conversation with her? Did you guys see or hear anything that we should be wary of?
She wanted me to go to the soul.
Do you think she's going to be in the city until she has the tool, right? How close do you guys think she is to having that?
Well, we know that she brought in more artists. I mean, I think it's better to assume that she's pretty close, if not done. Especially since she's here now in the city. Why else would she come?
I've lived in Phelan my whole life, and it's never been anywhere remote close to that silent. Phelan doesn't sound like the woods. Phelan is noisy. The only sound that came from it was the clanking of tools on iron.
Wait, we're out of character. Did it sound similar to what we heard that night in like the earliest sessions where somebody was hitting the stone? Or does it sound like it's something on metal?
Metal on metal.
Okay. Just curious.
Middle, but I think if we're gonna do something, this might be our last chance.
Well,
I think we can't be as cautious as we've been before. I need to get back into the city, and I need to get to the soul.
so we have a choice, and we must make it as a team, as a family. How do you want to proceed into the city? Do you guys think it's wise to go through the front gate, or use the tunnel that they have hopefully not discovered yet?
You know, it's gonna sound crazy, and I don't know how we do it, but I think we need to get the chisel and then lure her out. Unless we can figure out a way to get into the fort, like through the sewers or something. Because if we go through the front gate, we're just gonna get pelted with arrows. If we go through if we try to get through the city, we'd have to get through the city and not be detected by guards, and then get into the fort. All I can think of is pulling her out.
There's a good chance she knows about the tunnels.
Well, you know, it was her harpies that were in the tunnels to begin with. I can't
She has
imagine.
the Dragonborn,
Yes.
who
Yes,
didn't know the way in, but you could just grab the location. Nothing else, just those tunnels.
Well, both ways come with risks, but if you want my opinion, I think the tunnels would be the safest route, because at least we don't have arrows coming down on our heads the moment we walk out into the open.
Right.
Whichever we do, we should do it now so she doesn't have time to plan a trap.
Right. Okay, so we
Okay.
take the tunnels. Then do we go straight to the fort, or are we trying to get the chisel?
To the prison. Only the guards who talk are in the prison. We can't do it alone. We need an army.
That's a
So
good
we
idea.
sneak into the city. We go to the prison, turn the guards there, and storm the fort.
Yes.
There
You
may-
just find the Dragonborn.
What if-
Any
what-
Lacerda is there training the guards when we get there. And we'll
yes, but look,
speak about our nobility.
I mean, is the searcher gonna go gung ho for this? He's just.
I don't think we can rely on the Serta. He's here to do his job. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's
he'll
pretty-
miss.
He
Pretty
is. I don't think he's going to help us, but he's honest. He's as honest as Eslov. If people ask about the resistance and what they're doing and about what he learned, he'll tell them the truth.
That's if they allowed him. That's if Tabamis allowed him to continue walking. And
Otherwise,
who-
we'll just have to convince them ourselves.
And do we know how many people are in the prison that we can rely on? What if we go there and nobody's in there? What if anybody who is turned has already been killed
We'll
and hung
see.
and strung up?
Then that's less people we have to fight.
But my point is, if we go there and we don't go straight for the art district, then we may lose that opportunity. For I'm just saying.
Do you think?
Dwayne, sorry,
I don't
Dwayne.
know.
Real quick, wasn't Dwayne saying that we should get the chisel and then bring it out to force her after us?
Yeah, the idea was to get the chisel to pull her out of the fortress because, like, if we want to charge the fort, we gotta find like a secret way in, or have an in-man, or have an army, and we don't have any of those. So
We're going in empty-handed and just picking up what we can find along the way.
You know, like, I mean, we could go to the prison, and maybe there are prisoners there that have a beef with her because reasons. So we could find an army there. I don't know.
We were told that the what was the name of your friend?
Magpie?
Magpie? Oh, Magpie.
We were told by
Magpie.
Magpie that the guards who talk are in the prison, and the guards who don't talk were under the canopies.
Oh, the silent ones versus. Okay.
The ones who talk.
The
That's
talking.
why-
Those who talk.
Saying we go to the prison. I'm assuming the prison is more of like the jail where the guards were stationed
Yes.
before. Okay.
Oh, so you don't mean to go get prisoners? I thought you meant
No,
the ones
I
that were
meant to go
imprisoned.
get- The guards. The guards who are not under any kind of control.
Eslov, you've been quiet. What do you think? You're always
Here to
quiet.
help.
Yes, and we know that you're here to help, but what route do you think would work?
Shrugs.
He shrugs. Wow, yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not sure either, but
Tesla, thank you so much for everything you're doing here to protect this island that you only just arrived at in the greatest of chaos.
yeah, Karajan looks at him and it's like, yeah, why
Like
are we here?
Do you not want my help?
No, we
I
want
love
it.
your help. I just when this is all over, me and you, friend, we should have a talk and
If
figure out a way to reward you for all this.
Yes. Dwayne, you brought up a good point. Why are you here, Eslov?
Please tell us your whole backstory.
Right now! Right now!
Right now,
Well, it all started. Let me see. How old
before
I
we
am.
die.
How old am I? It all started however many years ago I was.
Jesus.
Should I sit
This guy.
down?
I'm not
Three
going
days.
to. I'm here
Perhaps-
because this is where I need to be.
I'd
Yeah,
love to. I'd
Go
love
on.
to just charge in and find her and attack her directly, but I don't feel like that's going to.
Add a character would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I just don't think it'll work because she's gonna have like all these people that we're gonna have to fight through to get to her, and I really
It
don't want to
wouldn't-
kill a bunch.
Yeah, there's no way it would work.
Maybe
That's
we
why
could be
if we're going to do
sneaky.
that way, the only way is to. If we're going to do direct, we have to somehow have faith that the guards will side with us, which I don't know if we've laid enough groundwork. And if we go sneaky, I don't even know how to begin. We can go in through the water side, which I don't think she'd expect.
What? I just
Like,
thought of something.
we could hop onto a boat either further north or further south, and then go to a boat that's going to go back to the dock, and then sneak in that way through boxes or something.
She didn't see me with you.
No.
But
What if I have Soul fly and drop her letter saying that they betrayed me and I have the mask and I want to make a deal to no longer be a criminal and be back part of the family.
to what end?
But
I love it.
I want to meet her alone and I want to have her assurance that she will come and I will bring the mask. And then when she comes, we ambush her.
She's not going to come.
No, but if she comes with others, which she will, at least it'll be out of the city, and we don't endanger the people that are living there.
I mean, the mask might be tempting enough for her to do it.
Yes.
Because it's the
Yeah.
only thing she wants.
You guys didn't tell her I was there, yes?
We said you had a stomachache.
See? So maybe she thinks that we're not on the same page.
It could work. I think that's the only hope we have to take her off the board.
So. All right.
Oh, wait, where's the secret spot?
How about the stone that is,
It's a little close to the
Oh,
resistance. It's a little.
The distinct stone.
The distinctive stone that's hours away.
There's a place not too far outside of town where I used to like to go fishing.
Perhaps. And maybe those armed fish are there. We can get them to ally with us as well.
Right, the armed fish.
They've kind of become a civilization at this point, so we can ask.
So, tie those armed fish in at the end. I love it. So
I just like things coming back to where I started.
I think that's really cool. So,
Yeah.
do we think this might be worth a shot? Sending her a letter saying that I want to make a deal to become part of the family again, making her think that my
It's-
nobility means more than this.
I think it's worth a shot. I mean, we gotta try something. Can't just let things go on.
Morkan, how do you feel about that idea?
I think it's the only shot we have.
I mean, the worst that can happen is she says no.
Eslo?
More comfortable in the woods than the city.
All right. So I will start putting a letter together saying, I do not agree with my friends. They think that this is, and I see now that there's no
Make it
chance
harsher.
that we can save this island with their mentality, right? Because they're trying to like, and she'll probably believe that.
You're trying to convert me to Accor.
I left them. I left them recently and took the mask with me. I have the mask. Meet me. Do not harm my familiar. Let her return to me. And I will meet you, and I will put the location that he suggested. Come alone or with very minimal guard. I do not want anyone to catch wind of what I am doing.
Okay.
Hey, let's
Then-
go to the spot.
And I will have Soul fly and look for her. And
Okay.
and look
So-
through her eyes.
So we're gonna go to a cutscene. Soul flies into the city, trying to find where she is, and it flies over, and you can see the two carriages that were brought into the city that she'd come in with her entourage, and she is near that, and that is in the art district. She's speaking with somebody, and then she turns and she walks into one of the artisan buildings. The walls are knocked out, and it looks like it's been turned into taken from being just a blacksmith to a forge. And you see this person that looks like, I can show you. Give me a second. Oh, wait. Here.
I'm so worried about Soul dying.
Gotta resummon her.
I just don't like. You know, it sounds funny. I know I could resummon her. I don't like putting her in that situation though, because he sees her as not something just to be used and abused and resummoned.
Oh, here we go.
So you see someone that looks like. Is it showing?
Are you putting it in the Discord?
Oh, I was putting it on the page. Did it close? Oh, there it
Dun,
is.
dun, dun.
Oh, the owl bear?
No, I'll put it in the Discord also.
Oh,
It's
that.
it's on the
Oh.
Twitch screen.
And with two of its hands, it is working a piece of metal. And with two of them, it is inlaying metal while it does it. And there's this just super complicated, ornate. It looks like hammered in gold into the iron, into these patterns. And as it works, you see the hammer come down hard, and with each hit, there's like a burst of light coming out from this thing. And the burst of light, when it comes out, it sort of knocks her back. It's almost like it's putting pressure on her and knocking her away, and she walks back to it, and she goes back to hammering, and she's hammering much harder than you would have thought she'd be capable of, and the steel is red hot as it is being worked, and you see Talvames walk in and look, and when the hammer hits, the light bursts out from it again, and Talvames turns her eye and is sort of pushed away from it. And she walks outside, and your bird flies through, and she sees your bird, and the letter drops. And she picks it up, looks at it, and that's where we'll break.
Give us a reaction.
What?
Said, come on, give us a reaction. I said it jokingly.
You'll get her reaction.
Next week.
When she turns
next
and
week.
blasts soul, feathers go flying.
It's just a little explosion of feathers.
Well, she's done it to him before.
Oh,
Yeah, she was the one who killed Soul before, and hurt me.
it's true.
She's hurt all
Yeah.
of us very badly.
Mostly
Why
by
does she-
looking like my mother.
Yeah, she's hurt you more emotionally.
So hard for me.
She gave me a headache.
She did. A headache that did damage, but a headache.
Yeah, it was a migraine. So that's a migraine, right? The headaches, no damage. Migraines are damage, right?
Oh yeah.
They certainly feel like damage.
Yeah, they do. God, they do. Man, so much stuff happened tonight.
And
A
it's
lot
a
happened.
lot happened.
A lot of intensity.
I feel like
So,
there was a whole lot
Definitely
of very little. Like
Right?
a lot happened, but like as far as if you just like sum it up, we walked and had a small conversation.
Yes.
Small.
yeah, none of it's small.
What's
Yeah.
funny is what's really funny is I don't remember what Morgan had told you about all the stuff I write and plan when I'm on it, and this session is about, I don't know, 10 paragraphs of stuff, and we did like a sentence or two. Like, damn, what a night.
But you know what? The title still works. The title still works. One spark to ignition.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There was some
did.
sparks. There was some sparks.
Yeah, I kind of like there to be times when it takes its own life, does its own thing, the game. That's cool. Yeah. All right.
And just for the record, anybody watching, we all like each other. So
Yeah,
I just-
everyone's here is amazing.
I don't know. People don't really like me that much. It's fine.
what?
What?
That's
Love
Joe.
Dylan.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I love how
Banter.
you can't be doing that right now, dude. There's been too much going on tonight.
All right.
Oh,
Kind of
man.
lighten them with some
I know.
self-deprecating humor.
I know, right? Right. I think we all do that a little bit here and there. So
Thank
was-
you, everybody. We will see
Thank
you
you.
next week
great session.
for what is sure to be action-packed.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Well,
it's
I
not
don't-
just more talk.
We're gonna storm
I
a
don't
city.
know. I don't know. I think me and Morcant still need to hash out our morality differences.
You can do it in Discord.
To read some books before we go into this last battle.
I like how we started things off with us teasing Morcant about wanting to talk to everyone, but now I don't know who talks more between Vezern and Morcant. I can't tell anymore.
Good night, everyone. See you,
Night.
see you
Bye.
next
Thanks for
week.
watching.